Okay, I was gonna wait for specifically 9 o'clock to start, but that's in like 20 seconds, and that's entirely too far away for me. So hello. How you doing? It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm gonna be very weird for a while. It's gonna be great. So hello Ernst, Avatar, Bobcat, Artyom, Darkside, Claymore. I always forget I made Claymore a mod. I don't really need a mod. You guys have been strangely polite so far. Apart from the whole, you know, disparaging comments. Oh my god, she's gonna ban me. Okay. So today, we're playing Dream of Darkness. That thing I was meant to do a year ago, but then I went to Japan. Well, there's a new demo out for it. And this is it. And it's gonna be good. And there's boats. And Spanish people. And, you know, dreams and darkness. And demos. If it sounds like I'm stalling, that's because I am, because I'm trying to figure out this problem I'm having with OBS. Oh, wait. There it is. That text looks like it's gonna be in the way. Let me move that. There, that's good. Okay. Let's start. Now, I do have to ask a quick question very immediately. Do I or do I not do a very, very accurate Spanish accent when voicing the lines for these characters? Because honestly, I'm 50-50 on the whole ordeal. On one side, I could be praised for my skill, and on the other, I could lose everything. Spainticus? There it is. I'm sold. Perfect. Start game. This game is intended for mature audiences. Oh. Okay, that's... I mean, we can slip under the radar, that's okay. Aztecs, welcome to the Dream of Darkness narrative prototype. Games could be better if studios listen to players for its major features. What do you love? Bone marrow. What sucks? Osteoporosis. Tell us, your feedback shapes our game design. The Aztecs are close to our hearts, which is quite threatening. Many team members live in the ancient capital of Tenochtitlan. Many of our team members live in the ancient capital of Mexico City. We're mixing real mysteries advised by our historians with Lovecraftian game mechanics. Important parts of the story will be highlighted in color. Enjoy. September 28th, 1518. Somewhere west of Cuba. I'm gonna start putting that on my birth certificate. Where were you born? West of Cuba. The San Miguel ship breaks through the waves at top speed. The company fears competitors might get to their secret destination first. Especially other Christians. Now, if it was the Buddhists, that's chill. 7 small Naus ships lead the San Miguel with its sword raised. Each transport carries around 30 sailors. That's not how you pronounce Miguel? Okay, how do you pronounce Miguel? And if you give me sass, I'm just gonna start saying Michael. I won't actually, but... Oh, is it just Miguel? Not Miguel? Okay, Miguel. At the San Miguel, Anton de Alaminos, correct me on that one, reviews the ships in his charge. After his last company was decimated by thirst and Mayate attacks, he almost quit. His wife and daughters would have been happier, but he has a heavy debt to pay. Look at this little roguish smile. I love him already. He's my new friend. The waves reminded him of Admiral Columbus, who, I believe, has been cancelled. When Anton was a boy, he joined his mentor to discover the Tainos. Tainos? The peaceful people taught him their language and how to listen to the sea. Before that time, the sea was very quiet. Then Anton knew his life would be to discover strange new places no matter the cost. That's foreboding. Fortunately, Captain General Enrique, or Enrique, you've got something against pronouncing U's, would pay him good coin to go where no one else dared. Wales. Snapping him out of his thoughts, his boatswain Carlos approaches. As always, he's scared, hunching, a crewman nearing 50 years old but with hair completely white, as we can see here. Excellent. Enrique. It's Enrique now, I like that. After a Moor stabbed his neck during the Holy War of Reconquista, Carlos suffers from an impeding stutter. Still, every day he commits to speak his mind. It's kind of like me, except without the stabbing, or any of the honor. His arms tremble close to his mouth, quick to make the sign of the cross and terror. Could equally mean that the bad wine was opened, or that their destination is close. But okay, here's the Spanish accent. I don't think I've ever tried a Spanish accent. I'm just gonna go for it. Pilot, my major. The winds are blowing too strong. As your aide, I have to tell you that the crew is too afraid to admit. It's the Phantom. Claymore's immediately like, oh Christ. Carlos looks behind his shoulders. The Captain General has shared to a select few their destination to prevent superstition and competitors. Okay, shall I just change it so that all these characters are Scottish? That would be a lot easier. It's drawing us to her. What should we do? Ooh. Steady Carlos, adjust the sails, or be calm Carlos? I like be calm Carlos. Lest you scare the crew. It used the word lest. Of course I'm choosing it. The boatswain departs. Anton watches the company. None wear armor, most cling to rags. As usual, fewer sailors or soldiers. This time it's cheesemakers. Is that a profession? Tailors, a palm reader? Is that a profession? All for the riches. Anton has to prepare them, and fast. A teenager with pants and sleeves too big for him starts puking, to the laughs of everyone. Don't like being exposed like this, but okay. Anton pulls the dizzy sailor's hair back to avoid soiling himself. The teenager, Louis, stops puking, relieved. Yeah, cheese does grow in orchards. In like weird bushes, you have to really dive in to get it. Louis, if you feel dizzy, look at the horizon. It will help you stabilize. Never look too closely at the waters, for they may stare back. Don't worry about these bad lads. Most of them can't even swim. Their fleas would spring them back in a minute. I'm not sure what that phrase means, but I like it. I'm gonna start saying that. The crew laughs and disperses, easing the tension. They used to go about their chores. Gracias, jefe. Here you go, boy. Chew this piece of ginger. It'll help the nausea go away. I have a bit more if it ever comes back. Thank you, boatswain sir. Okay, so funny story. Earlier this year, I went on a very long bus ride to London, which from where I am is pretty far. And I felt extremely sick the whole time. I couldn't get any ginger, so I just went for ginger nuts, which are like a biscuit that tastes vaguely like ginger. It exclusively made me feel more sick. So, you know, there's a little anecdote for you. Ginger nuts are the plague, but they taste pretty good. Luis promptly accepts it and bites. He goes off to continue his duties. I appreciate you helping the boy. Tell me, Carlos, why did you join the San Miguel Company? To earn an honest living, sir. I'm just looking for someone to give me an opportunity. And that's why I put my lot with us sailors. Though I know I'm not the fittest, especially because the other option, the priests, are unreliable. Carlos gets closer, looking anxiously to their sides. Be careful around the Franciscan jefe. One mistake in life is enough to be barred from our kingdoms. At least here in the Indies, all men are accepted. I'm not saying that line out of context. You know, I don't like this kind of talk. We are all one crew, but you must have your reasons for warning me. Go on with your shift. Night cannot fall on us with so many tasks yet. I'm sorry, senor. Si, senor. A thin sailor rises and yells. Pilot Major, sir, you're needed below. The helmsman. He's disturbed. Believe he's off course. So if you're wondering what I'm doing now, every person on the crew, especially this Gustavo fellow, will be having a different region of the UK as their accents, because that's significantly easier and much less offensive than me doing a Spanish accent. That's where we are now. Anton heads down to the helm's room, calling for Luis to join him. The group soon finds Rodrigo, a strong sailor with long, unruly hair, holding the heavy helm with nervous, trembling hands. The ship shakes after a wave strikes. Then the drunk Rodrigo loses his balance, getting a hold of the helm to avoid falling down. The ship changes direction erratically. He left the handbrake on. Effie, Cuba is far behind. We're right on schedule. I use my own voice for that one because I relate to him. Anton can smell the stench of rum in Rodrigo's breath. To the side of the room, there's the charts table, with their destination map torn down. Are you drunk, sailor? Did you destroy our only map? No, bueno, si, jefe. Last night I opened one of the barrels for my compadres. The talk is we'll pass close to the Phantom Isle, but I assured them on the contrary. So it's for the men's morale, you see. Yeah, no, especially considering all of these people are likely Spanish or Portuguese. The fact that they have so many different accents, especially like, you know, Birmingham in the UK. I'm pretty sure I threw in a Birmingham accent back there. It's really inclusive. I like it. Superstitious idiot. Any current could take us and get lost. I will speak to Governor Velasquez on our return. You'll never gain an encomienda or any reward. What's encomienda? Gustavo, replace this drunk fool at the helm. I'll give you directions. Anton motions at Luis to take the drunk upstairs. The teenager forces Rodrigo out of the room, but suddenly the helmsman speaks in a grave and serious tone. Sir, don't lead us to Bermeja. Those who have seen it, I don't want to end up crazy like that. Igiosaurus. I did it for the good of the crew, not for the coin. Jesus mio salvanos. Don't pronounce the U's, Claymore. I will pronounce exclusively U's. Yeah. Anton has but minutes before the point of no return, where the entire company will get lost. We superstitious crewmen, I understand why the Captain General kept our course secret with only one map. There's worse than ghosts, like an empty pocket. I'll recalculate our route to Bermeja. Velasquez. Ah. There's a dinosaur now? Of course there is. It's a very diverse ship. Gustavo, what's left to retrace our course? Not much, Jefe. Only a spare map with a Sea of Cuba. Oh, and encomienda was basically having people work for you? Alright, cool. So, gue, gui, ke, ki are all silent U's, so it's ge, gi, ke, ki. Geki keki. Okay, we'll determine our ship's current location, our orientation, that blasted Bermeja Island's whereabouts, and finally, the sea currents that will lead us there. I can already tell you this is going to take me months. How, sir? How do you know these things? No, but some of the crewmen do. Dozens of companies have been lost in the Indies, but the Captain General did recruit a few survivors and old sea dogs. Never hear about sea cats. Maybe it's less inclusive than I thought. That's a bit reassuring, sir. You can annotate your findings here. We didn't keep this map in great condition, because, you know, we didn't expect the other one to be thrown away. Good, I'll each get a lead, but Gustavo, shut the door. Don't let anyone know about that drunk's fears. The Indies really can be terrifying. Horror hotel, humorists. There's a whole subgenre of terror. Where are we going, sir? Select a location to investigate. I choose the ocean. Oh. Okay, we have to go to the crow's nest, right? There's always something cool in the crow's nest. Like a raven or something. Anton and Luis reach the ropes that lead to the crow's nest. Sir, I heard the watchman won a compass last night at cards. He won it, huh? Very well. I'll ask him for it. Anton climbs up to the top thinking about all the souls in the San Miguel company. They depend on him for their safe path. He presses on. Anton! Yes, the milagro. You're in better shape than I imagined, old man. Warm welcome, Nicolas. I sure can use the air. Rodrigo? Lost our maps, you know. I need that compass you won at cards. Get us back on track. Don't you mean that Rodrigo tore it down out of Governor Velasquez's kind suggestion? You forget I can see everything. Even what's happening indoors. I'm quite frightening. Why haven't they bribed me? Cheap fools. Probably couldn't afford me. Sure, you may use my compass. If you beat me at a coin toss. The game of kings. I actually skipped that last one, but basically threatened to put this guy in boat prison if he doesn't give him the compass. Sure, the man would love to see that kind of spectacle when they are already praying away the phantom. Besides, aren't sailors meant to be of sharp eyes? No contest for you, Anton de Alaminos. Call it in the air. It's gonna land perfectly on its side. Just toss him and take the compass. Thinking outside the box, or more accurately, thinking outside the boat. Heads. It's tails. God damn it. Doesn't even look remotely like a tail. Wanna go again, sir? It's tails. God damn it. Sorry, it's heads. Wanna go again, sir? Absolutely, it's heads. God! Now, listen. I'm not a man of learning. Nicholas has to be cheating. I could take away the compass by force, or maybe there's another way. That sounds quite suspect. Wanna go again, sir? I'm not gonna intimidate him. Tails. Sorry, it's heads. God damn it. No. We're going until we get this. How is this man cheating? This man is some kind of sorcerer. Okay, let's intimidate him. Maldita si, I don't have time for this. Give me the compass now. Sorry, Pilot Major. I won this fairly, with God as my witness, I might add. So I'm afraid I... Anton shoves Nicholas to the edge of the crow's nest. I think, Bobcat, you were very, you know, prophetic with your throwing him off the boat option. The watchman is about to fall, but in the last second, Anton grabs him menacingly, as opposed to kindly and softly. The compass, Nicholas. Por Jesus, you have... Good lord! Here, take the damn thing, you... little... boy. Nicholas hands over the compass, but beware, you threatened the watchman, and news travels fast around the ship. So do my fists. There's no reason to remain on the crow's nest. Select a location to investigate. Let's go to the stove. It's like the water cooler of the boat. The cook knows where things are, okay. Anton thinks of his wife's ample kitchen. I'm glad the word there was kitchen. Instead, every now ship has nothing but a stove on the upper deck. As he approaches, Anton laughs discreetly at the altercation between the cook and another sailor. Who is today's victim? Maldisau, is that how you say that? Maldicao. Milk the cow. They are a pest, and don't come back until you kill every single one of them. This could take a dark turn. The cook defends his kitchen as if it was a wealthy, once again, encomienda. He points at it, angrier by the minute. The spoiled food lies in wait of being prepared. Every ingredient has bite marks, and black mass is growing. That's freaky as all hell. I love it. Sir, I've looked all over the ship. They're too quick and impossible to spot them. I can't go to the food stores now. The priests have warned us of the... No. Oh, whoops. Take it then. Eat it. Delicioso, no? They will devour our reserves if left unchecked. Then the crew would have to eat your excuses. Not much substance in those, is there? Wow, that is a sick burn. That's tremendous. Encontraos indeed, friend. Jorge backs away from the cook. He sees Anton. He mutters closely to the pilot major. Sir, that Lucitin cannot treat us like that. We were chosen by the Pope over his kind. Ooh. Ooh. He resents us. Anton approaches the cook, subduing his laughter. Anton, you have a very dark sense of humor. This man has a spoon to the throat, and you're laughing. Foradaki Marinero. I'm just gonna assume what he's saying. Forsooth, knave, you are but a pawn. I'm not here for the meal, how? Whoa. I've told you to show respect to the Christians. One word, and any of them could get the priest to look for your blood papers. They'd be interested in hearing where you really come from. Blood papers is a really, really good way of saying birth certificate. Que saudade. And who would feed these 3 hungry, greedy mouths? You? All of you are Aragonese, are ungrateful, disgusting, greedy. Now, I know what Aragonese means. I got that. I'm from Palos, not even close to Aragon. Drop the map. I know you served with the Portuguese. Tell me of your empire's roots, Rodrigo. Tell us of your empire's roots. Rodrigo, ellipsis, misannotated our map. I need the currents. An Aragonese asking for a Portuguese's help? Where's your pride, sailor? Sure, I did sail with the Marinha before the Pope favored the bunch of you. But we could help each other this time. Look, the reserves are at the mercies of rats, and your new hands are too lazy to spot them. No food will be left, no matter how populous the Captain General's secret route. Search the ship and tell me how many rats are hiding, and I will share Portugal's sea currents. You see, this is confusing because, think of it this way, if we don't help him and we let the rats go loose, we could end up with a very funny situation where it's like a rat boat, but also all the food will be rotten and will likely get lost. So, it's really a lose-lose-lose, but also very funny situation. So I'm not entirely sure if we have to go with that. But I'll help him anyway. How isn't important? Jesus Christ, I'm mispronouncing the English words now. Good lord. He's an impatient man. He'll only give you 3 chances to tell you how many rats are hiding on the ship. Tell how many rats there are. And you know what? How many rats are hiding on the ship? There's 7. Let's see. If I'm right, I demand you all call me the Rat Whisperer. I've been trying to get that nickname for years. Ah, damn it. Use tes ojos. Does that mean use your eyes? Claymore, does that mean use your eyes? Please help. Also, Tolo, is that like... Should I be offended? Keep exploring and find the rats hiding in the ship. Select the location to investigate. Let's look at the quarterdeck. Come, Luis. We'll find our location. Oh, there's one. Okay, wait. We're gonna do a tally. Rat 1. Humans 0. Well, there's 2 humans, but you know what I'm trying to say. Por la Cruz. Sir, that looks complex. Can't you just feel where we are like the Captain General does? Listen, we're not all the Captain General, Luis, okay? Kid, don't do what those half-wits do. With all due respect to our Captain General, there's a time for intuition, but there is also a time for thinking. With the astrolabe, I can calculate the height of the sun and our latitude. Rat counting with paint chiggies. It is a very cute rat. It's also horrifically large. Well, in fact, most rats are. I remember the first time I saw a rat, I was like, Jesus Christ, what kind of Godzilla mouse is this? The height of the sun. Is it a magical device? No, because we would have been burned, Louise. Use your head. Never resort to mysticism, lad. I'll teach you as Admiral Columbus guided me. We don't need the actual height of God's mighty sun, but the angle between it and zenith, the uppermost part of the sky. We'll use that to calculate our position. Use the astrolabe to find the ship's current location? Yes, sir. Okay, so rotate the astrolabe until you find the strongest beam of sunlight. Okay. Turn 8 degrees. Okay, turn another 8 degrees. Another 8 degrees. It's like I'm playing blackjack. Another 8 degrees. Hit me. Oh. Hit me. Hit me? Hit me. Okay, we're going way along the other way. Oh, it's pretty strong there. Let's go a little bit further. Oh, it's very strong there. Like, okay, with that, you could destroy an entire ant colony. In fact, that's probably what it was originally designed for, which is morbid. It's morbid. Also, hello, Marmoset. How are you doing? Also, hello, that Dario. And Valtid, I forgot to say hello to you. I see strong light, Louise. What's the angle? I think it's yes. 137.48. Let me note that down. 137.48. I'm using like a tiny scrap of paper I have in the corner of my eyes. Not literally in the corner of my eyes. I would be screaming, but it's next to me. And I have several notebooks I could be using. I'm telling you this just so you know how incompetent I am. Is this the strongest light? Yes. Thanks, this is our zenith angle, but it's not enough for our latitude. The sun moves around God's Earth. Fool. That's why we have day and night. No, that's because God says so. Anton hides the declination log to Luis. Fortunately, wise men have annotated the sun's movements for each day into declination charts. Look at the date of the day and tell me the angle to compensate. Sir, do you know the current date? I think we reached Governor Velasquez in late August, but other than that, I'm lost. There was a lot of contempt in that fool. That's because I'm a thinking man. Which is why I can perfectly pronounce Santo de San Cosme y San Damian. Oh, it's September 28th. September 28th? 2250. I'm noting that down as well. 2250. Am I looking at that right? Yeah, I think I'm looking at that right. Do keep in mind that 60 minutes equals 1 degree. No, it equals an hour. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Write this down. Really, do it, lad. If today is September 28th, and the zenith angle is 137.48, then our angle equals... maths. Oh, sweet Jesus. It should end in a 9. Don't make me question this. Okay. Okay. Left. 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 Sun fool. Okay, that's pretty good. But that's way better. That's also good. That's really good, though. Here, the light's at its strongest. Yep. Yep, 137.48. Yep, that's what we got. Yes. Okay, let's take another look at this. It's September 28th. Okay. So it should be 2250, right? "60 minutes equals 1 degree. What am I... Wait. Why is it telling me that? I don't understand. Write this down. Really do it, lad. If today is September 28th, there's 28, 2250. That is both extremely offensive and very, very accurate, Claymore, so thank you. Also, I'm going to move the chat a bit, because it's actually difficult to make it out with the light colors. I'm going to have to make it a bit smaller. There we go. That should be a bit easier. I'll make it a bit smaller. Perfect. Okay. Is the answer none of the above? Because that's what I want it to be. Actually, no, this is right. Something seems a little off to you. That's because you're wrong. So what now, sir? What do we do? Wait, was that wrong? No, it should be 159.98. Yeah, that's fine. Select a location. That Dario just came in and destroyed my theory. Thank you. We're gonna end up somewhere, okay? It'll be fine. You know what they say? If you go in a straight line for long enough, you'll find Cuba. Are we going to Cuba? No. The Lord back. I can question the only survivor who's been close to Bermeja, sorry, and get its location out of him. But sir, what if you pass out on your way down? The Pagan has guard shift. The monsters have eaten away so much for Hull. Marmoset, this is a game called Dream of Darkness. It's currently in development. This is an early prototype demo for it. It's a game I've been sort of supporting for a long time now. There's lots of streamers actually covering it today, which is cool. You can follow them on Twitter to get more updates. You can also get the game yourself. In fact, I'll post that now. I do have a link to something. Excuse this. If you want to get the game yourself, give me just a moment. Keep in mind, this is only a demo, it's not the full thing. I had the link lying around here somewhere. I hope you like the noise of my mouse scrolling. It's good. Actually, I can't find it right now, but I will get to you. For the giveaway? I will be doing the giveaway, don't you worry. the boy, he scrolls. Yeah, I'll send out. There's a discount link. I'll send that out after I've done the giveaway, and I'll do the giveaway whenever I deem it fit. There are no monsters, lads. I don't trust that Egyptano. Is that Egyptian? Does that mean Egyptian? But I need him. Stay here, Luis. I won't have you suffocated. Anton heads to the lower deck. Let's look for rats real quick. If you see a rat, just type, like, a number in the chat. There's one. Hello, Dream Darkness VG. For those of you who don't know, that's the people who make this game. They've popped into chats to say hello. Hello, we're having a great time so far, except I've learned I'm not very good at maths, or Spanish, or Portuguese, or English, which is a thing. We found 2 rats so far. Unless there's more in here. If you want to get really derogatory, we can start calling these people rats. I don't know if the cook would like that, though. Right, so Anton heads to the lower deck. It's a mass of people, heat, supplies. The mixture of sweat and stagnant air filled the room with oppressive odors. Goddamn gamers, am I right? Oh, Egyptano means gypsy. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, gotcha. But the sailor is worried about the ransomed food stores. In case of emergencies, a bottle of vinegar stands next to it. Anton takes a deep breath, opens it, and soaks his handkerchief. He covers his nose and heads below. Oh, you're the token non-Mexican on the team? Yes, I'm the token, you know, the token person in the stream who can't read or write. So, that's where we are. Ah, por Dios, that stench. Few come to the food stores and stables. No one stands even minutes before passing out, except for the except for the E-boy. Come, Piggy, it's this way. Anton is about to scold the pagan, but a sea current smashes the ship, terrifying one of the pigs. I also see a rat. Let me note that down. Tranquilo, amigo. I'm here. Oh, I'm also scared. Caress me, please, sir? Anton spots the sinister E-boy. There's another rat. I swear to God, these rats are getting out of control. Also, these pigs look like they're about to gang up on the poor man. Behind him, the hull has been eaten away by dozens of holes. It's only a matter of weeks before the seas take the ship. Igiosaurus, I've been looking for you. Welcome to my office, sailor of 2 worlds. Sit, please, I'm holding court, but I could make time for you. Entertain us while my watch continues on these walls. I need the location of Bermea Island now, Igiosaurus. Rodrigo misplaced our map carelessly, but your company described the place when when we were taken by the Tempests, a night that I tried to forget all of my life. Yes, Alonso de Santa Cruz, and thus 100 souls saw the red sand before perishing. If you want phantoms, they're just past this wall. Anton is taken back, more so by the hundreds of holes and brummer worms. He presses his handkerchief tighter, trying to pace his breathing. You see, even Anton wears a mask. If you're going outside, wear a mask. Don't soak it in vinegar, though. That seems unnecessary. But I jest, Pilot Major. I want to know. Can you lead us to where our captain failed? Ease my worries. Allow me to read your palm. Oh, this is the palm reader. Again, I have to ask, is this a real profession? Because if so, I would have been a millionaire back then. Oh, look at your palm. It's made of skin. And I might try to remember that night of horror. Brujeria. Was that right? Any priest would silence me, silence you, and me, if they knew of your paganism. You would bewitch me, even after we found a job for you in this company, you ungrateful E-boy. Your Christian piety with us Romani is touching, offering me to watch as these monsters eat away your ship. In the midst of the stench, I can smell no more of your priest's Priests? Priests re-education. Oh, did the priest stab him in the face? That's grim. That's unnecessary. Anton looks at Igiosaurus' scar with a heavy heart. It's true, the church has not stopped prosecuting gypsies. Ugh. Your palm, that is the price. Do you have to say it in such a sinister way? Yeah, allow him to read my palm. Christ may be my savior, but I don't think he draws the line at con artists. Well, no, he most certainly does, but not this one. This one's weird. Palm reading is a profession, but you do have to work your way up from regular con artist to palm reader. Understood. Anton puts down his lamp on the damp soil. Just as Igiosaurus takes Anton's hand, the flames burn more intensely. Lord Ryan, come to us in our need. We offer you our fears in sake of wisdom. Hundreds of sailors have died and thousands more are to come. We silence their laments with songs of our desires. Will our leader, the sailor of the two worlds, find what he seeks, or will we join the chorus of the seas? You know, in my... I hate to change the subject. In my procedurally generated games video, I literally made a chorus of the seas. Like, I sat at my microphone for like 15 minutes straight just making ocean noises. And I didn't end up using half of them. So on my computer, I just have a bunch of noises that I made of me going like... whoosh. So if any of you want those, you're gonna have to pay. Pilot Major, this is the line of your heart. You have to put that in the Discord, release it to patrons. I'll think about it. It yearns to reveal the ends of the world, and indeed, discoveries call for your name. But the explorer is also a protector. This line corresponds to your mind. Your reason and honor would do anything for your family, your crew, to keep them out of harm's way. In your palm, both lines are long and collide. There will come a time when these lines face each other. You will find what you seek, but there will be a price to pay. Your other palm. I am reassured. This is where the Phantom Isle resides. I hope you sail better, where we did not. Did you notice the less insane he got, the less of an accent I gave him? To the point where I was just speaking. Anton finished speaking with the E-boy. Hello, manwards. Oh, he might not be able to hear me, but I hope he knows in spirit I'm saying hello. Select a location to investigate. I don't suppose there's any rats in the crow's nest. I kind of hope there's rats in the crow's nest. Let's go to the quarterdeck. Oh no, that's this place again. Yeah, that's cool. We've gone to the lower deck. I only counted 4 rats. Unless there's... Oh, there's one. He's hiding on the table. That fool. That fool is hiding in plain sight. Is that a rat? Nope, that's a bird. I lost the classic game of, is it a bird or a rat? How is an impatient man? He'll only give you 3 chances to tell you how many rats are hiding on the ship. I've already wasted one by just randomly throwing a number out there. But let's tell him I counted 5. He's thinking. We did it. We did it. Well, you see, Claymore, that's why I was wondering if it's a rat or not. Because birds... I'm pretty sure that was a Reagan-era thing. Oh, cool, we got the sea currents. And here, a coin for your troubles. Portugal and Aragon should work together more often, don't you think? Now, I don't know if any of you have played the game Europa Universalis 4, but believe me, I wish they worked together more. Castile always gets all the glory. First, let's survive this ordeal, then we'll see. There's nothing else Anton can do here. Select a location to investigate. Navigation room. You'll be able to explore the ship once you enter the navigation room. Are you ready to trace the path to Bermeja? Yes. Here is our spare map. Wait, which way is north? Oh, so that's south. This is north. I'm trying to figure out where we are. Okay. I've come to the conclusion that I have no idea where we are. Remember the latitude we calculated with the astrolabe, Luis? Yes, sir, here it is. That seems so incorrect. That would place us here. We cannot take just any current. It all depends on the orientation. Thankfully, with the compass, I see we're headed 225 southwest. That seems okay. Then the dreadful Igiosaurus told me Bermeja Isle is located here. Where's here? Finally, there's the sea currents. Oh my god. Okay. Good thing that Howe told me which have been useful to the Portuguese. ... Yeah, if I go southeast for long enough, I may end up literally anywhere. No, this can't be right. If we'd been through the Yucatan Pass, we'd be further north and we wouldn't be facing southwest. We must be a little ways east from the Yucatan Pass, around here. Jefe, assuming that's true, we still have to figure out which sea currents will bring us closer to Bermeja. Okay, so I think it's 1 and 7. Because 1 will bring us down, 7 will bring us that way. Actually, no, maybe it's 3 and 7. Yeah, we're looking at 3 and 7. Or are we? Maybe it's 3 and 1. Okay, so basically I figured out it could be any of the options I was given. Right, I finished my tea. That means my brain should work. Chat, what do you think? Help. I know 7 is definitely in there. Or 1, or 3. They're all in there. I'm gonna choose 7 because it's called Golfo, and I quite like that. What's 3 called? Yucatan Equatorial. It's 7 and 3, we're doing it. Are you sure, Jefe? Not even slightly. Yes. Gustavo and Luis watch intently as Anton works on the sea charts. Suddenly, the pilot major says... Not only the best sailor, but with the looks to match. Here you go, Gustavo, follow this route. I'll take a look at the crew and the rest of the ships. Look at that chiseled jawline. Just when Anton is about to leave, he feels an unusual thickness in a sheet of the declination log. It's blank, but he can see the page opening by its middle. It's pasted, an old sailor's trick to hide information. Anton separates the pages with care. A thin letter is within. It is a wax seal from his hometown of Palos. What news could come? Mate, if it's been with you the entire time, it's not news. Anton recognizes the signature of his previous Captain General Hernandez de Cordoba. It tells about his discovery of a settlement of more Mayate speakers. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of people. They'd form a rich encomienda, but it's more dangerous than other routes. By the concealment and seal, Anton deduces that his disgraced patron intended the clue for him, but it was too delicate, especially when their entire company collapsed before paying its financiers. May you rest in peace, sir. Thank you. No sailor can explore this alone. With whom should Anton share the latter? Anton heads back to the deck. Anton studies the rest of the transports, imagining that each of them, the word could spread that they would pass close to Bermeja. Superstition and preparedness. How would the men behave? The sun and the light are lowering by the minute. Fray Pedro, you're new. You must be strong, son, for they look up to you. Anton looks back as Father Pedro approaches him. Pedro is a man in his 50s, energetic and curious because he's well-traveled. Look at that little sly smile. They're not ready, Padre. We sailed too soon. I agree, but I'm guilty of the same. When I learned of Martin's fleet, I joined without a second thought. I have to save the Indians with baptism, Anton. Is save the right word? Is save the right word? Oh, I should really share it with the big rat. That'll be good. Exploration is no excuse for the abuse they are suffering. Only through sacrament can they gain God's protection through the incoming greed of adelantaros. Sadly, without encomiendas, we could not endure against the Moors and heretics. It's possible to have Christian guidance with fair Indian work. Ooh, that makes me uncomfortable. I don't like colonization. I will set a check to greed. I must see to it. Hello, Untrusted. How you doing? It was welcome news that you joined us, Father. Fear and greed can be a terrible combination, especially with so many newcomers. It was also reassuring that you would be our pilot, my friend. Martin enrolled with whoever came first, and some of them, met Carlos. Have you observed that boatswain? Wait, hold up. And some of them, that Carlos, have you observed that the boatswain never receives... Untrusted. I was reading. Thank you very much, Untrusted. I'm gonna give my microphone a little cuddle. There you go. I hope that was as weird for you as it was for me. Basically, Carlos, he's a grunton. That's the least of it, Padre. We departed too hastily with little regard for climate, safety, and crew ancestry. I had to retrace the route to the spot we're looking for, Bermeja Island. Bermeja? In La Habana? I might need to learn Spanish. That would greatly help with this. I'm gonna open up Duolingo on the other monitor and just multitask. Some say it doesn't even exist, but those that have seen it... Anyway, too big a company for settling it, I say, and an even bigger royal bribe. Anton raises his eyebrows, surprised. Don't give me that look, son. God may reign over earth and heaven, but even celestial matters come to life after 3 days. Profound. I had not known of any adelanto license granted in less than that, until the San Miguel Company. They must have found something big, and Enrique, did I say Enrique right? Will so kindly claim it for the empire of Vuestra Majestad. Clay never lets us do a colonialism. Actually, Bobcat, I'm going to read that in the tone of voice that the talking fetus from PT does it. Clay never lets us do a colonialism. This game, civilization, Bubsy, can't colonize anything. Clay is such a drag. Clay, you're not a drag. That's just the fetus talking. I'm not gonna take the, the weak option and be like, oh no, don't tell anyone. Just be a right hard man. Haha. Hey Martin, our pilot major fears that the waters might have ears and report him back to Vuestra Majestad. Ha ha ha. Good one, lad. Captain General Enrique Martinez was walking to his cabin when he overhears and approaches them. He smiles to both, but replies to Fray Bento. Fray Bentos, by the way, I don't know if it exists elsewhere. It's like a pre-packaged food company in the UK. And Anton may be right, for power extends beyond what man can see. The Pope ministers Rome, yet I know of no people, territory, or conversation exempt from his holy grasp. Wait, the church overreaching? Never. Caution may be a virtue, and by the way, it's Captain General to you, Fray Pedro. Haha, a conquistador preaching caution. Rapture may finally be upon us, or at least Armageddon. What's the difference? I will go and read a Bible or something. Would a priest be so lax about the Bible? Fray Pedro pats them both strongly on the arms and retires, still laughing to himself. I like him, he's jolly. You don't want the Pope grasping you in any way? I don't know, he's got a pretty cool car. The Captain General and Anton watch the priest read on deck. Captain Enrique turns to Anton. I have to review the fleet's balance ledger. Dull work, but it has to be done. I'll meet you in a moment, Anton. The Captain General retires. Anton remembers he still has an errand himself and observes the boatswain Carlos and Fray Pedro. To whom should he give the letter about the Populus Maete settlement? Okay. We need to choose. Do we give the very sensitive information about other people potentially working for us to the guy who wants to colonize them, or to the guy who's very drunk? Good question. Yeah, where's the rat option? In fact, it may be here. I don't know. I think the boatswain. I'm going with the boatswain. Is this just a visual novel? For the time being, yes, but because it's in such early development, they're still looking for some guidance on how the final game is going to be shaped. So, for now, yes, but it may not be upon full release. Give it to Carlos the Boatswain. That's what I'm going with. You are a tiny human. Bless you, sir, and Captain Hernandez de Cordoba. Oh no, this isn't the drunk guy, this is the stutter boy. I like the stutter boy. This is the hope I've been looking for. If we reach the settlement before the opportunists, we can profit and claim it for Vuestra Majestad. Earn an adelanto license, and perhaps an encomienda. For now, let's be discreet. More than one sailor is disorderly and can confuse danger for a holy mission. To show where we can be partners, let me give you, sir, my most prized armament. My own rodella, sir. I took the shield when we recovered Granada from the Moors. Neat. It's not steel, not even entirely iron. Who can afford that? Mostly wood, to be honest, but it has reminded me of God protecting his reunited empire. Love empires. Love empires. Love them. You'll have to use it if we venture into the wild, Jefe. An actual shield that fought back the Moors? The crew will be inspired by this Reconquista trophy. Thank you, Carlos. I can't wait to show it to my girls when I get back home. I like that both options have you, like, going pro-church. Or at least pro-Christianity. Carlos shares his pilot major's excitement, then leaves to continue his duties. Well, I suppose back then, you couldn't really not be pro-church, or else you would be killed. Damn, Anton is a player. I think by girls he meant children, but we can headcanon that he also just has like a harem back home. An instant later, Fray Pedro approaches. Anton, I saw you whispering, exchanging a document with that godforsaken Carlos. No, Padre, you don't understand. That's exactly what I was doing. This is a slight. You convening with someone who denies sacrament? Nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or something like that, tells us Lucas. Look, my brothers warned me that a heretic conspires against our church. A Calvinist. It's a Protestant. Maybe an Erasmista. Here. But I know you, my friend. You could never be an idolater. Just please, be careful, Anton. As Pedro finishes his warning, he retires, not wanting to spoil the image of his friend. The pilot major takes note of his serious tone. Could an Erasmista, stowaway be among them? Maybe, but like that's fine. Captain Enrique returns from his quarters. Anton, I finish with that dreaded bookkeeping. Those financiers will be at the end of me. Please, let's walk before supper. I know you have your doubts about our destination. Are you a superstitious man, Anton? I know my Padre Nuestro, Captain. I was baptized by our Holy Mother Church. What's the Father Church? Maybe there isn't one. That's fine. I didn't ask if you were baptized, Anton. However, the Captain General doesn't push it. I think that a man sees what he believes. Not so long ago, the kingdom of Vuestra Majestad reached no farther than Aragon. Today, we sail an ocean just to deliver news. The truth is what we make of it. This is both the strength and the curse of our Christian empire. Take the Bermeja letters. Some say the Phantom doesn't exist, but I think it does. But plenty have hidden it to settle themselves, earn the royal favor, received an encomienda, set for life. I don't believe we're settling Bermeja. Oh, what do you believe? Speak plainly. I read the survivors' accounts. Bermeja, if it exists, can't be bigger than an isle. Britain's an island, so thanks. Useless for establishing a town or a comendias. Every time I've said that word, I've said it a different way. And I'm not going to stop doing that. San Miguel counts for 8 ships, 250 men, horses, cannons. The Phantom Isle is only a reference for us. We're headed further west with a specific objective in mind. Still, the men prefer thinking of a Phantom Island than the unknown. I asked Governor Velasquez Criado Cordes, but Cuba's maps stop at Bermeja. The Captain General stops looking at Anton and stares fixedly beyond the bow to the West Sea to the horizon. Governor Velasquez isn't aware of our royal charge. None of them do. Anton, tell me of your time with the Indians. Now, does he mean Indians or does he mean Native Americans? I'm going to drink some water before I continue. Let that sort of simmer. Yeah, he definitely means Native Americans. It looks like this man is single-handedly holding an enormous crucifix, which is like, that's impressive. The Tainos were kind but reserved, resented us, probably underestimated me because I was only 14 when I met them. After Admiral Columbus's patronage, I chose to stay. They taught me the ways of the sea we Christians can't imagine. The sea, the very sea is alive, they told me. With its own forces, and if one listens carefully, it can take us further than any circumventing we have done before. Anton, Bermeja is indeed only a reference pointing us in the right direction. We won't touch it, but the men need to be prepared for what lies beyond. Time is of the essence. You may be our only chance. Yeah, I already see where this is going as well. Oh, what's that? The sea does spooky things? Madness. I studied Columbus in the royal charts. You're a sailor of the two worlds. I chose you to be San Miguel's pilot major because, if we find what we're searching for, I will need you to take me back to Vuestra Sacra Majestad, no matter the cost. As the captain makes this request, the sun finally sets and a wall of heavy clouds rise in front of the company, from the sea up into the sky, higher than the human eye can tell. The ships face the heavy clouds, with the leading ship up front and its figurehead at the prow of Archangel Saint Michael glowing in the sight of the last sun rays. Was Saint Michael called like Saint Miguel in Spain and whatnot? Or was it just Saint Michael? I don't know if Michael's an anglicization. Okay, so here's some behind the scenes. Wow, I just drank something I thought was water. It was not water. Oh my god. Water is not that strong. Oh, okay. The night falls all around them, but yes, Marmoset, it was definitely that, and not some kind of alcoholic beverage. But stranger than any other. Darker, the air stirred as if moving with electricity, pulsing, but without any wind. Then, rain and thunder fall so suddenly that the men scream. Steep waves shake the ships violently. In the end, winds strike so powerfully that they distort the faces of the crew. The heavy clouds once in front now surround all the ships. Hurricane! I don't think that was the intended delivery, but I thought I'd take some creative license with it. Carlos, Anton, Pedro, Luis, and Captain Enrique, and 5 other crewmen hold tightly to the closest part of the ship they can manage. Anton looks around and notices a man gripping a cannon, only to see both fly clean away up into the sky. Cannons are pretty big, right? Like, they're not small things, they're not light things. Maybe he accidentally fired the cannon and in like a Looney Tunes type scenario, it blasted backwards. I'm imagining it's a Looney Tunes type scenario. Anton sprints to the helm room and gives his orders, trying to compose himself amidst the chaos. You 3, secure the helm. Don't let it stir out of control, no matter what. Carlos, Luis, to me. We need to hurry. Cut away the sails or we'll take to the air. Now that would be cool. We invent the plane in the 1600s. Or, sorry, 1500s. Anton and the men climb the mast. After cutting the first rope, Carlos is blown away. Rest in peace, Carlos. Anton tries to reach him but fails, and then notices that other ships are flying, being torn apart by the hurricane. Men, horses, and materials circle them in the air. The clouds grow darker, and Anton can barely see more than his own ship. Done! With the final rope cut, the sail flies away instantly, but their ship keeps mostly on the sea. Tie yourselves to the mast. Keep straight, our only chance is to reach a clearing. You know, I take it this isn't the final art style, but I really like it. Like, I would be perfectly happy if this is just how it was. Because this looks very cool. Even in just straight black and white, I like it. The ship goes forward. The strong dark clouds and winds attenuate. Far away they distinguish an open space, the eye of the hurricane. Water just stops flowing ahead. Not exactly a beach, the clearing is devoid of water, and instead just has land, like Moses opening the sea. This isle has a dark, reddish, blondish color, and can be seen 800 meters away, surrounded by the hurricane. No. We can't dock here. The chart's worn. Hyphen exclamation mark. The heavy backmast breaks, flying away with another sailor in the direction of the captain. Anton raises his rodella, almost being smashed himself, but protecting his leader. His arm is seriously hurt. At the same time, the crew manages to reach the land inside the hurricane. Now, usually in these games, you don't see consequences for your actions until, like, quite a bit later. But we've already seen one. Like, if we hadn't sided with Carlos, we wouldn't have got the shield. And that would have gone very differently. I like that. I like immediately seeing my actions, and I imagine it's going to have more seeing as my arm's now hurt. It's like the butterfly effect, but with sailors and Spaniards. The captain whispers to Anton's ear. I'm amazed you can hear a whisper. Keep it safe from the priests, Anton. This could destroy Christianity. Promise me we have to stop it. What is he talking about? That's foreboding. The captain gives Anton a pouch with something long and solid inside. Excuse me, Captain. I don't sail that way, unless I do. The pilot doesn't understand, but he feels the grave appeal of his Captain General. For my wife and daughters, I promise you, sir. As the ship finally nears the island, the fog clears away, and the sky and the air glow green. I'm seeing like mad symbols all over here. Big fan of that. On top of the reddish, blondish land rise huge, solid, rectangular blocks of stone, the size of 10 stories in yellow, red, grey, green washed out pigments with columns, spikes, and non-symmetric forms. I'd almost describe them as non-Euclidean. Some of it are richly ornamented with teeth, feathers, skulls, and other symbols, like none seen among Christians or Moors. They're ornamented with teeth? Can we have more buildings decorated with teeth, please? I mean, each human has at least 10. A temple of no civilization known. We have to take refuge there. The ship's falling apart. It's those damn rats. What idiot would enter those ruins? Look at those cursed buildings. Nothing good can lie in there. Suddenly, a terrible sound explodes so powerfully that makes every crewman lose their balance and fall to their... Hold up. Is something exploding up in front of the ship? Is this Cthulhu? If this is Cthulhu, I mean, come on. That's a problem. Breaking Anton's hearing. Only discerning from this point muffled sounds and white noise. His vision also becomes extremely blurred, distinguishing only vague shapes and colors. The winds blow stronger again. The surrounding night sky moves quickly towards the direction of the clearing and the island. As the night sky touches the hurricane and beach, it simply vanishes them, replacing them with the dark night and calm sea. The last thing Anton saw was the darkness. Anton attempts to open his eyes, to no avail. He tries to scream for other survivors, but he can't. All his body hurts. In glimpses, he can tell it's day. A moment later, night falls. So time's being wacky. You know, just when you think you can rely on time, oops, nighttime. Fray Pedro, Captain, we must protect the men. He counts the days, but after the 6th one, he loses track. The thirst distracts him, so close to so much water, but he knows he must not fall into temptation. This escalated very quickly. Bobcat, in this episode of Grant and Abbey, you have missed a massive hurricane, which destroyed the fleet. We broke our arm because we tried to defend, you know, a massive wooden pillar with nothing but a shield. And then we washed up on this island which has crazy time dilation. And now we're slowly dying of dehydration. So, naturally, it's pretty cool. Suddenly, the waves stop. Land. He would sing of joy, but his dry throat almost tears at his neck. He notices ship debris. A sail washed up to the shore. The experience... He kept his hat! He kept his hat! He did it! Oh, he kept his hat! That's amazing. And even the little feather. If he'd lost the feather, I'd be in tears. The experienced sailor rips them apart, making some shoes, shorts, and a shirt for himself. That's like a tongue twister. He ties them tightly and starts walking in the direction of the bigger debris. Let's ask for Fray Pedro. No one replies, but the other Christians might have made it. Anton must find them before it's too late. Anton walks along a vast beach. Few hills, no trees. Doesn't look like Yucatan, La Florida, and the heat. La Habana is not even close to this blaze. Is La Habana Havana? Is that Havana? Almost burning his rag shoes with every step. He notices that the water is not blue or green, but brown. Peeled logs are spread in the sand. He deduces terrible storms must have hit recently. Oh, it is? Cool. Under his late Captain Hernandez de Cordoba, the company was also taken by tempests. Then they celebrated when, by God's grace, most of the crew reunited. So the guy's like, hey, maybe they were okay, maybe we'll be cool too. Despite being in, you know, more or less the story Dagon. But no more than 3 days later, over 40 men were lost to thirst. Then the Maya... Okay, so I thought that was like a happy story of the crew reuniting, but it turned out to be a sad story of a bunch of people not having water and then being killed by natives. Which, you know, for the natives, it was probably a nice story. Nice might not be the word, but it is a word. So stupid. He survived once, only to embark again. How will he pay off his debt? Is he really thinking about his finances when he just crashed his ship? And he's surrounded by brown water? I would have more than one concern, and it definitely would not be debt. His wife and daughters will be at risk. No, he must find a way back to La Habana. Back to them. Now's not the time to worry. He knows he has to focus. These must be new lands in the Indies. God must be testing him. Then he notices a man laid by the shore, just as himself some time ago. Hey, Cristiano. Is this Ronaldo? Can you hear me? It's Anton de Alaminos. The sailor hurts his sore throat, but there's no reply. He cannot shout or run more. He walks slowly, fearing every step what he will find. That's kind of like a frightening image, honestly. Because the body looks like it's been drawn slightly differently to the rest of it, which makes it stand out. And that's kind of spooky. I like it. The person by the shore grows more distinct, more immovable. It's Rodrigo. Oh, he is all twisted up. Rodrigo... How... You silly man. The helmsman who in a stupor destroyed the charts. His hand is shaped like a cup between the sea and his mouth. His lips are wet and the whole body bloated. And he's missing an eye, it looks like. Has this man been drinking seawater? If so... Yeah, Cthulhu really did cancel Rodrigo. In fact, no, I think Rodrigo cancelled himself. Rodrigo must have drunk seawater in a desperation, poisoning himself. Is drinking seawater like the 1500s equivalent to posting something racist on Twitter? But why? He was one of the few expert men of the entire company. Anton notices Rodrigo had a deep cut in his belly, and also his money pouch is missing. The wound is curved. It was not made by Indian arrows, but by a Christian alfanje. Rodrigo had enemies. He was not close to the captain or to the priests. His idiocy destroying the charts could have spread, but this? Anton wishes he could bury his crewman, but he knows he could be next. He unties his own cross from his neck, leaves it on top of Rodrigo's chest, and closes his eyelids. He must find the rest of the crew. He could have at least thrown him into the ocean. That'd be pretty neat. Oh, this is a cool image. Wait, can we see any rats? Maybe that little dot's a rat. I like rats. Anton continues to climb a crag. Crag's a good word. Good Scottish word. He reaches the top and sees in the distance several promising spots in front of him. In the center of them all, a concentration of strange pointy plants. Oh, it's cactus! I love cacti. Much further, there's a man-made clearing, torn down by trees by the end of the swamp. If he finds survivors, together they will head to that potential refuge before night falls. Maybe the island is a big rat. Maybe Cthulhu is a big rat. Okay, we're not going to the pointy huts. That seems like a bad idea. The smoke signal? Let's go to the smoke signal, even though that's definitely not safe. Anton carefully follows the smoke that emanates from the swamps. He moves towards the branch. He moves the branches away silently as possible. It could be survivors, or Indians. Well, it won't be Indians. Wrong side of the planet, mate. As he removes the last of the branches, and the sailor is astounded. A massive pit lies in front of him. At last, water. Wow. Good lord. It's so blue, almost like sapphires. He jumps below, but just as he's about to drink, he spots a floating body. A Christian. A few pigs and horses too. Poor animals. He can distinguish a few remains of his ship. A few remains? That's not a few remains. Well, he can distinguish a few remains of his ship, the San Miguel, smashed. Just as Ovando's fleet, the hurricanes must have lifted us entirely, just to be crushed here. May God have granted these souls a merciful end before landing. Yeah, an angel came down with an Uzi. With enormous discipline, Anton resists drinking the water. He has seen firsthand how men die when they give in to their urges, satiate themselves, and some days later, drop dead. I agree. Machamp. His best chance is rainwater, a clean river, or friendly population. He can drink their blood, and it didn't look like it would rain anytime soon with his excruciating heat. The sailor focuses on the smoke. He follows it out of the cave. Everyone seems to be glossing over the fact that this hurricane just appeared and then disappeared. Like, that's suspect, right? Or not, I don't know. I don't know how things work in Havana. Back on the surface, Anton is frozen on the spot. There's a dark, huge shadow between the trees, almost as tall as 3 now ships, but in a sharp, rectangular shape. Rectangular? That clearly says triangular. The sailor wishes he said he had his alfanje sword, but thicker trees and roads block the surrounding way. Smoke is just behind the forbidding mass. The only viable option is crossing through it. The sailor notices that the shadow is not moving. Did he assume it was moving? And walks in the direction while he prays. Oh my god, it's Uayeb. After removing some thick branches, Anton can spot a richly adorned, thick barrier formed by stone and plaster. After a few paces, he spots a second wall, but much taller. Fortifications? Even though they look ancient, they're still solidly built, until a destroyed spot where some major force breached. Anton crosses there. Not the best idea, but it is still an idea. The sailor is face to face with a huge triangular shadow. In fact, a watchtower. Over 20 skeletons remain on its stairs, forming a vertical line, with roots already grown among them. Anton can spot armor and graceful feathered helmets on them. Now I'm going to take a drink of water. Most still hold bows in their hands, pointed at the breach in the wall where the sailor had just entered. Each of them was pierced by spears, still in place. Who leaves behind a good spear? Back on the ground, Anton notices warriors of another kind. Their armor black and red with huge spears on their side, killed by the feathered arrows. Their remains in a concave form on the ground. Oh yeah. Wow, these guys did not get shot like once or twice. These guys got like Dark Souls 2's trailer done to them. Hurricanes typically form in the Atlantic off the coast of Western Africa and follow a relatively predictable path as they grow in strength. Then they usually pass into the Gulf of Mexico before making landfall and usually dissipating with no more source of warm water. This seems like a regular hurricane behavior. Type unsubscribe to unsubscribe from Bobcat Hurricane Facts. Also some fresh marks on the ground. Mud. Something heavy was dragged here recently. He follows it in the direction of what looks like a massive rectangular monolith. You know when there's a monolith, it's just like, maybe you should phone a friend or something. Monoliths are never a good sign. Anton walks through the thick trees and foundations of the buildings that were toppled many years ago, roots already on top most of them. He can now spot over 5 more of these towers, and surrounding him lie hundreds of the graceful feathered warriors with their bows to their sides, all of them in curves, other times lines. Many don't have their heads anymore, or lost some of their members. Huh. So I was going to say that it's very reckless just to leave all these bodies around, but it does kind of sound like they were just placed here intentionally. Did the conquerors take war trophies like the Moors? Next, more rows of the black and red armored warriors remain in their own circles. Their massive spears and shields lay on hand, apparently in the direction of the central stone column. They could have been the invaders, but these neatly circled, concave, sometimes straight lines of the dead are too orderly. There we go. No war is ever fought this methodically, unless, of course, you've played Civilization 5. As Anton approaches the rectangle monolith, he can spot more black and red armored skeletons. Claymore, are you in this game? A single arrow piercing each of them. Row after row, they are thicker in number, all encircling the rectangular stone in the center. The closest an invader got is a foot away, but they were all unable to reach it. Oh, this guy got tanked. Oh, this guy got, like, absolutely boozled. Not bamboozled. Boozled is much less fun. The explorer is face to face with the monolith. To its side remains a single feathered champion, taller than most. That worries me. At least 4 spears pierced into his armor, but he seems to be looking graceful to this day, his skeleton complete. He did not endure any mutilation. Hundreds of the black and red invaders fell neatly in curved shapes around him. A battle between ordered knights or lords? A single arrow still lies steady on the warrior's bow, hundreds of years after. Even though the sailor doesn't understand, he wishes the champion rest, making the sign of the cross to him, which is probably massively disrespectful. The heavy, fresh marks on the ground surround this monolith. Anton follows the trace of the possible survivors. As Anton turns, he cannot resist looking at the monolith. An extraordinary figure stands in front of him. What does it mean? Anton touches it. He doesn't want to, but he knows he has to continue looking for his crew. He touches it, he doesn't want to, but he knows he has to continue looking for his crew. Okay. He follows the fresh marks on the ground until he finds the source. There it was. A heavy crate open on the side of a rock, and a massive branch, a makeshift lever. Anton recognizes the box as part of the food stores. He rushes to it, but it's been wiped clean. A survivor must have gotten to it. An improvised bed with leaves is there. An alfanje is stuck on the ground. There it is. Still, Anton knows it must have contained bacon, wine, and water, the 3 elements. He tries to ignore the images, closes his eyes, weeping immediately, but no tears flow. He realizes it's because of his thirst. Me cago en esta puta expedición. Anton takes the buried sword and pulls at it. God, where are you? Point me to my men. Let us survive this cursed place. The blade's metal is melted down, fused with the ground, unmoving. Anton pulls harder, his own hand exhausting immediately by the lack of his stone strength. God damn it, answer me. Wow. That took a turn. Jesus Christ. This guy is... 1 minute ago, he was making cross symbols at a guy who likely doesn't know what the idea of a singular god is. And now he's saying this. This guy is... Whew. Oh my god, has God found us? Anton? Anton, is that you? I'd recognize that sacrilege anywhere. The sailor opens his eyes and runs to the source of the voice. Anton feels the vine scratching against his skin, but he doesn't care. He runs towards the sound of the voice, barely removing the obstacles from his way. He can almost see the end of the swamp. Almost back again at the beach. Who can hear me? Captain Enrique? Anyone? Soon he arrives to the source and recognizes the brown robes. Oh, I should have sided with this guy. Anton, my friend. Father Pedro lies on the ground but quickly rises to meet the Christian. They hug tightly as if years had passed between their last encounter. That is no way to talk to the boss, you know. Really? Cursing at God, you infidel? Bad boy. How many times have I... But I knew that was you. Haha, that mouth of yours may have its uses. What are you implying? Pedro pinches on Anton's cheek and laughs openly. Then... Then a few grunts and wets ring behind them. Oh, right. This conquistador is dying. Yeah, sorry, forgot to mention that when I was complimenting your mouth skills. And Anton looks behind the priest. 2 men are sitting on the ground, wounded. Oh, Dios mío, Father, really? Nah, you'll live. No thanks to your idiocy for sure. He says this as the priest doesn't tend the Christian, but the other man, an Indian, a young man, probably 15 years old. Pedro's in the middle of them, a small fire dying behind them with logs arranged in unusual ways. Surely the Indians. Why are you treating him, Father? The lunatic stabbed me. Keksi ka kimij paakstenin takaj paaksiten. The young boy has 2 cuts by his leg, not fatal. The Father Pedro, the Father Pedro. Father Pedro has already mended one of them by tearing his own Franciscan robes. You raised your sword at him and demanded he point you to water. In Castilian. You absolute muppet. They're the idiots, incapable of speech. I was explaining to him what water was. Okay, like, honestly, you go to this guy's island. First, you point a sword at him. Secondly, you explain to him what water is. You deserve to get stabbed, my friend. Yana kilmil, keksika, kimij jumpil nuksi kimil, zanna willi kahas. That doesn't sound too incapable to me. Pedro finishes mending the boy's wound. Then the Franciscan turns serious and closes his eyes, addressing the Indian. My son, you have asked to be baptized. What? I don't think so. Pedro confuses, unfazed, reopening his eyes. Claymore, did you miss the stuff with all the skeletons? Because, if so, sorry. But there was like hundreds of skeletons. And that sounds like I'm making it up. But, so, Marmoset, you wrote the word Granada, but I read that as Granda, as in granddad. And I thought somebody's granddad had been taken, and I was heartbroken. Jesus dijo, el que no naciere de agua y del espíritu no puede entrar en el reino de Dios. Hijo mío, renunciad al pescado y confesad vuestra fe en Cristo Jesús, que es la fe de la Iglesia, en la que vas a ser bautizado. The Franciscan kisses his wooden cross and raises it above the two of them. The Indian man looks at it puzzled, arching his eyebrows, but Pedro is focused and passionately intones. I'll be honest, Pedro gives me strange vibes. Dios... Hey, isn't God cool? Oh, yeah, he's the best. Oh, he's just... Whew. Amen. Say nothing. I'm going full heretic route with this. From now on, your Christian name is Venancio Gonzalez. Why? Rise, my son. The Indian man is mildly puzzled. He didn't understand a single word the man said, and neither did I. He takes Pedro's hand, rises, and immediately stretches his wounded leg, verifying it's well. Once again, he directs his anger at the sailor on the floor. Ya na Camille! Camille! He makes an aggressive hand movement, raising one of his many fingers, and leaps into the swamp, quickly disappearing. Concha de tu madre, come and tell it to my face, you... Jesus Christ. Fray Pedro slaps the wounded sailor on the head. Hey, I'll baptize you if you're not careful. Respect your brother, he's a Christian now. Anton laughs. Pedro too. These people have some really dark senses of humor, I'm into it. We have no choice, Anton. We have to protect the Indians from knuckleheads like these. Erasmataz are taking over Christians in Germany, France, and England. I imagine that means Protestants. Oh, there's Martin Luther. Oh, there's Scotland. There it is. We found it. Lads, it's been a long time. It's been a very long time. But we found home. Bring us back. In fact, I think it's even got... it's even drawn in the border there. Oh, fantastic. This is the best day ever. They've even... It's weird that they draw a border between Northern Ireland, but not Portugal. Strange times. I fear violence could spark. The Moors were the beginning, and only our empire stands true. Our only hope is to begin anew here. We must baptize the Indians to ensure their salvation and mankind's. We have to protect them. They are intelligent, capable of good, just like us. Well, that's... you know... I have no doubt about that, Father. Yeah, the guy's got, like, he's, like, halfway with the right idea. He's like, yeah, no, those are cool people, but let's forcefully, you know, drag them into our life. First, we must regroup. If night falls and we're exposed like this, without shelter or water, we will succumb. As they walk, Anton tells Pedro, Father, did you see the monolith? Yes, the idol and the dead around it. Try not to think too much on it, son. We're exhausted as it is. Only pray for their eternal rest. Every culture has their ways. In the island of Crete, the Greeks offered maidens to the Minotaur. What a time he was having. Who knows what sacrifices these people had to endure. You're right, Fray Pedro. We have enough on our plate now. We have to keep going. I missed the end of that. The men resumed their journey, without grasping the form left behind by the dead bodies. Oh. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, this is what the skeletons were making up. Oh. Maidens to the Minotaur would be a really good band name. Can I sing the Jesus rap? I can sing some of it. That's really cool. You see, I was wondering why it kept reinforcing the idea that the bodies were in different, straight lines and curves. But now it all makes sense. That's so cool. Fray Pedro from the Franciscan Order returns to the makeshift refuge of the survivors. Where will Anton search next? Let's go to the ruins of a Christian ship. Oh, I've got a little boat. Do I? I can't tell. Debris of a ship lies around a small isle not too distant. Anton sails to it. He must gather survivors, camp, and sail back to La Habana and Velasquez. The governor is their only hope. As Anton arrives to the small isle, he notes a pyramidal figure in the direction of daybreak, but on the opposite side, a mast protrudes. Oh yeah. Oh, it's like the ending of Planet of the Apes. Spoilers for that 60-year-old movie. Could a ship have been stranded? Depending on the damage, a minimal crew could still sail it back to La Havana. Good night, Marmoset. Thanks for coming along. You are very cool. He also distinguishes a gap between the trees, probably a settlement, but approaches the ship remains first. The veteran freezes. The remains barely reach 2 feet in height. From its swift contour, Anton deduces it was the San Gabriel. What kind of tempest does this? An angry one. He cannot look at the transport that carried over 30 of his men. As his legs tremble, he makes the sign of the cross. He decides to look for anyone at the close-by settlement. Anton approaches 2 well-built houses made of limes, but the walls are soaked in dark red. Blood. Blood limes. There's a sound amidst the waves, coming from inside one of the houses. Oh, I'm sorry. It's only 52 years old. Don't be calling me a gubber. You're a gubber. Oh, skeleton fact. Andrew Gold, the guy who did Spooky Scary Skeletons, also did Thank You for Being a Friend. Oh. If you were to throw a party and invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from Jesus. Anton would communicate with the Indians, but the blood makes him anxious. He grabs a heavy log, ready to strike who comes out. Someone exits. The guy's wearing a Christian hat, let's be real. You just bonked one of your friends. Oh no, never mind, other way around. Someone exits, Anton strikes him with a log and immobilizes him to the ground, but almost instantly, the sailor is chilled by cold steel at his neck. He turns carefully to his assailant. Anton, Theo, haven't I told you to be careful with your blind side? Bernal! Look at this angry man. This guy's not having a good time. He is furious. Bernal sheaths his alfanje. Himself and Anton make a resounding handshake and hug. The pilot shakes his friend's hair, especially on his bald side. Classic. Bernal's also wearing improvised rags from a sail, but managed to keep his curved, rusty alfanje. You! Help me! A young man gets up from the floor, his heavy armor restricting his movement. Bernal and Anton ignore him. Classic. Allow me to introduce you to my partner, the fabled Anton de Alaminos, sailor of 2 worlds, pilot major for Captain Enrique Martinez. Previously, he discovered Yucatan for our late Captain Hernandez de Cordoba. Previously discoverer of La Florida and Ponce de Leon. Anton started as a cupbearer to Columbus until the Genoese was... That's a lot of exposition. They're doing the handshake replacement elbow bomb. These lads are way ahead of their times. Also, this guy's just fading into obscurity in the back here. I love that. The seas respond to his sweet talking, granting him secret routes, speaker to Indians, gambler, and the top scoundrel. Me? A scoundrel? Maybe only second to my friend, Bernal Gerardo. It's Gerardo from the Witcher series. Diaz de Castillo. Oh my god. I get to choose what lore I give. Yeah, no, let's trash talk him. Bernal was the first spotter in the riches of Yucatan. When the company collapsed, he protected our men from both thirst and harm. We managed to sail back to La Habana. He's a good sword, but his tongue and his pen are where he's the sharpest. Is he actually flexing as I speak? What an absolute Chad. Especially if boasting about his deeds, real or imagined. Haha, you devil! But what about the time we brought the hideous cheese and donkey to pay for your diezmo? The ignored man squabbles, dusts off his chainmail and armor, lifts his Toledo sword shaped like a cross, unlike Bernal's cheap and curved Alfanye. Enough, you iguanas. I am Diego Fernandez de Cordoba y Zafra, captain of the San Rafael, second grandson of the Marquis of Camares, general of Lucena, restorer of Christianity to Granada. Whew. Diego makes an unnecessarily big gesture, sheathing his expensive sword. The nobleman must be 16 at most, yet he has a full goatee. Well done. His nasal voice makes him sound even younger as he shouts. I feel personally attacked. That ungrateful Enrique will know my wrath. He spoke of bloodthirsty sun lords that threatened Christianity. And yet, I've seen nothing but my ships destroyed. He will rot in a cell when Velasquez hears about the pretender's lies. Control yourself, boy. Ooh. Yeah, no, let's big time him. And when will we do that? Before or after polishing your armored dress? Diego tightens at the hand of the sword's pommel. What did you just say to me? Bernal contains a chuckle, but Anton notices a strange, odored smoke surrounding them. The isle, also unnaturally quiet, no wind or waves can be heard anymore. What our pilot major means is that you're illustriously right. Vuestra Merced. We'll look for the Iguana Captain General. We just arrived to this isle. We'll see if there are other Christians, if that's your intention. Allow my crewmate and I to proceed first, for your safety. The young man nods, removing his helmet, for a makeshift seat in the sand. I thought that was like a huge blood spatter. Oh no, it is a huge blood spatter. Oh good. Your voice acting for the armor dude sounds like an Oblivion character. Okay, I'm gonna do the next one just like an Oblivion character. Anton and Bernal approach the bloodied house, pilot readying his wooded log again. Control yourself, Anton. This boy could be heir to the Marquis. Don't fear a second, grandson. I have more chances of a title than him. Besides, he disrespected our Captain General. Oh, captains come and go. Have you been to the Talos Plaza district recently? Just as Hernandez de Cordoba, now Enrique Martinez. Bernal notices Anton's furious frown. Halt! You have committed crimes against the Captain General. Oh, never mind. I see you have already paid with your blood. Hey, Hermano. You know it's true. All of them use and discard us, making riches off our back. What did Columbus do? I hear he left you with a Taino, so with only a week's supplies. Meanwhile, the priests led us to Indians that would rather shoot us than be preached. They've got guns. Don't you want to go back to your wife and daughters? Anton swallows his pride and nods, stick in hand. I'll go first. Bernal enters the bloodied house, and Anton immediately follows. The afternoon progresses. It'd be much scarier if it said the afternoon didn't progress. That would be... Whew. Well, did you find anything useful? About 3 vats of blood. The houses have nothing. We only found 4 survivors from St. Gabriel washed up on the beach. 2 scholars and a woman from Andalusia. They're critically thirsty, but alive. Anton finishes speaking, keeping to himself in this eerie sensation. The blood on the houses is too fresh. Could the killer be hiding in the isle? Get me a shovel. Bernal also makes no mention of the golden idols that he distributed with Anton. Oh, we found some treasure. Diego's eyes open wide at the sight of an African youth coming closer, carrying one of the exhausted sailors. You mean you found 3 Christians? Oh. Let's move on. Anton and Bernal exchange looks of disgust at Diego's distinction. They deduct immediately it's his first time in a company. His name is... Julianillo? Is that how you say that? Julianillo? A member of the crew. Same as us. Julianillo, a youth in his early teens, already has thicker arms than noblemen in chainmail. I can tell. Jesus Christ, this man is built. See you, Pickle. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, this guy's huge. He looks at all of them, his deep black eyes expectant. Julianillo puts down the exhausted survivor he carried on his shoulder, not even getting a thank you. He turns to Diego and lowers his eyes, a sign of respect. Kathamub. Yuloaka Batani. No, Julianillo, he is not our Captain General. Good to know you speak that language. They have their own language, you fool. You iguana. In any case, the slave clearly knows rank. Let us proceed, man. This makes me massively uncomfortable. A trail of blood goes from the houses. Blood's not a good sign, is it? To whatever lies on the opposite point of the island, Anton speaks of what no Christian wants to address. The Pope. Only the mosque at the east needs to be explored. Let's head there. There's a mosque? But Pilot Major, the blood, that mist. All the more reason to go. It's fresh. One of our own could be in danger. Dark clouds cover the sun. Lit up incense burners illuminate a path amidst the vapor. Bobcat, what are you implying? The shadows make the explorers' faces look distorted. The blood trail on the lifeless dirt grows thicker. Sir, the trees, the grass, they just stop before that burner over there. Indeed, Patricio. Moors and other infidels are known to burn trees for their satanic rituals. They believe this mist grants them sorcery. Don't mind it. God protects us. Someone was dragged to the mosque. That's not a mosque. Could the victim have been alive while... Dash? Don't. Abasolo, or I'll drag your ass until we find out. Very aggressive. They swap between being very jovial and very aggressive quite quickly. I can appreciate that. Anton notices a feather on the ground about the size of a forearm, bigger than any he has seen before. He doesn't mention it to avoid triggering more fears. There are big birds here, as well as sorcerers. The Christians arrive with Anton in the front. It's a mosque, a place of pagan worship. A lot of you can remain on the ground while Bernal and I check out what's on top. If it's safe, we'll give you the word to follow. That's a coward strategy. We will do nothing of the sort. These Indians are our vassals. I hate this guy. My God. I can't stand this man. By decree of the Pope and Vuestra Sacra Majestad. If they refuse us, like the Moors in Granada, I will also be just a real inconvenience. Also, were you in Granada? No. Anton is about to scold the brat, but Bernal anticipates his friend. By all means, Vorestama said, God Almighty knows our Christian empire is true and shall grant us victory. Then, let us escort you to the top, the men behind us all. As Anton as Bernal ready the crewmen, each getting some wood and rocks as weapons, Anton takes his friend to the side and says, Are you crazy, you bootlicker? Are you crazy, you bootlicker? This brat's gonna get us killed. Little Marquise over here makes a loud spectacle. If somebody were here, they would have killed us already. Besides, we impress the boy. In a whim, he can name us Hidalgos. Hidalgos, Anton. Hidalgos. It's all a matter of impressing the right people. I like that you've crashed on this island, and you're like, now's the time to network. Let's keep the men alive, including the brat. Anton thinks about his girls, his harem, how being granted a Hidalgo name would instantly wipe away his debt. Keep him safe. What is a Hidalgo? Can I be one? How does one achieve Hidalgo-ity? Even the sun cannot be seen behind the clouds where the heat does not subdue. He feels an acid in his stomach, but he settles returning to Diego, who's put on his helm and admires his own Toledo sword. Oh, it's a noble? He's a native. So, I'm working on this new EP. We're ready, Vorestremer said. Diego climbs the stairs of the bloodied mosque, sword unshielded. Anton and Bernal follow close behind, and then the rest of the Christians. The blood leads through an open court to the other end, the shrine of the temple. The explorers light up a few torches. Thick smoke comes from inside. They enter. Dios mío, Jesu Cristo. Santissimo, Senor, salvanos. The explorers make the sign of the cross. Patricio faints. Classic Patricio. Oh, I can see why. In front of him stands an idol covered in blood and human skin. That'll do it. That will definitely do it. So, we're gonna impromptu words with Painticus here. The word of the day is escalation. We go from talking about becoming a noble and mocking the little smug guy to human skin being draped over an idol. That's escalation. Thank you. Satanism. Jews and Moors are known to do the same thing in secret meetings of their cabals, even though, you know, the Jewish version of Satan is the basis of the Christian one. You know, it's perfect logic, Diego. Nice thinking. The Christians are terrified as 5 Indians lie on the floor, their chests wounded. I feel like this might not be the best stream for a new episode of Word with Painticus. The word of the day is iguana. Christians are terrified as 5 Indians lie on the floor, their chests wounded. Oh, that poor lad. Oh, he's really had it. Oh, that hand's been cut off. Oh no, never mind. That's the beard. I thought it was gore. Anton gets a step closer in grim fascination. He studies the bodies in front of the idol. He notices that they form an irregular curvature, and their chests have clean vertical cuts. Classic. Dette are dårlig. Their hearts have been taken out. He looks really happy about it, to be honest. Anton is struck by their faces that show no hint of pain. Wow, Anton, we are on the same page. They don't smell yet. This must have happened today. You would smell the blood, wouldn't you? Oh, yeah, that totally does look like a mouth. That would have been pretty good. Even women, a child have been mutilated. No one deserves this, not even pagans. Diego, you've already had some good character development. Man, let's break this satanic conjuration. I don't think you know what conjuration means. Let's put the bodies to the ground. As servants of God, we'll give them a proper Christian burial and charge them for it. Estes loco? Oh, can we disturb the ritual? No, I don't want to disturb the ritual. How can we know it's a conjuration? This could be people's demise ritual. They look nothing like us, the Moors, or the Tainos. Yeah. Perdonamde, Pilot Major, but if this was their demise ritual, can you imagine what kind of war they'd prepare to inflict upon us? Anything we can learn will give us an advantage. The scholar speaks true. I'm not a scholar. I can't read. Anton forcibly complies, as do the rest. With no effort, Yulianio carries 2 bodies. The Christians remove all from the shrine. They drop the last body in the court, then enormous waves rock the island and torches shake violently. Amidst the thick smoke in the center, strange symbols appear, glowing in the air. Okay, so lesson of the day: don't interrupt the ritual. That's inadvisable. Look at these happy boys. These symbols, some kind of Indian tarot. In fact, some of them are happy. These ones are happy. This one's happy. This guy's just having a bad one, and he's very cross. These symbols, some kind of Indian tarot. They must be announcing our good fortune. The lights. They call for my name. How can they know? So beautiful stars. Christians, it must be some kind of spell. Resist. Santiago Benechador. De los moros. Guardanos del enemigo. He might be an accountant. You know, we have palm readers on our ships. We probably have accountants as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Sharp shadows can be seen on the floor. They slowly stretch and spread, as if something were present in the center, but nothing can be seen. Crewmen? Stay close. A screeching shriek pierces their ears. Darkness out of nowhere absorbs all fire. It's the Mothman. A demon appears. It bears horrorful claws bigger than its head. Are they bigger than its head? Yeah, I guess they are. Ungodly wings open to reveal yellow eyes. Dios mío, that thing is massive. Wait, it's not looking at us. The demon carries the Indian bodies on its huge wing. It doesn't even look at the crew. It heads back to the altar and the symbols. Let's be going. Por Santiago, viva Cristo Jesus. No, come back, you absolute muppet. Oh, this guy. Oh, this guy really went for it. Diego thrusts a mighty blow of his Toledo sword in the demon, but the nobleman goes across the monster cleanly as it vanishes. The Christians converge to raise Diego, except Diana. She's having nothing to do with it. Man, look, where the demon stood, now. A rupture appears in the silhouette of the demon. Powerful lights shine out of it, illuminating Diana's face. Que hermosura. Is it paradise? But the stars gleam wrong. That skull in the sky, I don't understand. Don't look at it, come to us. The light shines too intensely in her direction. Anton cannot stand it. He shuts his eyes for a moment. Then, no light. Diana is nowhere to be seen. Only ashes remain where she stood. This guy is so cool. This guy is... I think Claymore said it best when she said, Daddy. The rupture closes, the demon reappears, giving a terrifying shriek. It freakishly spins its head completely until it stops at its back, this time looking at the Christians. I love this guy. He's my new friend. We don't fear you. I do. Recognize God as your master, you beast. We're not all on board with this. The demon extends its half-beast, half-man claws in their direction. The nobleman raises its sword, and when pinched, the demon bleeds. But it grabs the sharp end on purpose, trickling its blood on the blade. As the demon's blood touches the sword, it rusts in an instant and shatters. The blood trickles from the sword's pommel to the nobleman's hand. Oh, it burns. Whew, that smarts. Almighty God. Whew, got any paracetamol? The nobleman prays while dropping his sword, removing his gauntlet, but the blood is apparent on his fingers. He ages to an old man in an instant. Whew. Then, only his skeleton remains, and then collapses. The explorers, Patricio and Absolo, scream in terror, dropping their rocks and log, shaking and praying on the floor. The demon strikes Anton with its claws, blood still on its fingers. The monster strikes at Anton, but he defends himself with his rodella. The blood is absorbed by the shield, resisting. We can't fight this. Don't try and fight it. Don't be a muppet. Run. Bernal gets between the demon and the crew, moving his alfanje between his hands expertly. Bernal, what are you doing? Stop playing around, okay? Be cool. Come with us. You have to go. If you don't survive, none of us are going back to La Havana. Take the crewmen to the boat. I'll catch up with you. Don't stop. Go. Don't give up, skeleton. Anton feels the anger in his chest, but he knows he's right. He shakes the Christians, still terrified. Ooh, look at them go. Oh, this guy's so cool. He turns to Julianio, but the youth runs at the demon, bravely attacking with a huge log. I can't choose who I like more, Julianio or Owl Boy. Anton decides to help the traumatized Patricio and Abasolo. I'm really struggling with these names. Barely managing down the stairs. He can hear metal clashing behind him. Jesus mío, dame fuerza, coño. The pilot arrives to the boat, pushing the survivors on it. Row! Row, you cowards! Anton finally snaps the explorers out of their prayers. As they begin to sail away, Anton decides he can return for Bernal and swim back to the boat in time. His thoughts are interrupted as he hears a loud noise behind him. Ata tambe! Anton turns back to the island to see Julianio, terrified, running their direction, his log now melted down but still firmly in his hand. Stop. Make room for Julianio, sailors. After giving the order to the men up front rowing. Oh, look at the boy! Look at him! Oh, it's my two best boys and they're fighting. No. Oh, I should give them Christian names. Okay. Anton is now Keith. And the rest are all Keith, but with a number after it. After giving the order, the men up front rowing, the sea shakes violently. Anton looks back for Julianio, but the demon is right behind his crewmate. It holds a beating heart on its hand. No, it's coming. No Christian should... Patricio, you've got to really chill out, you know? Atam bitu. The young man races to the boat, but the sea reaches his face quickly. He frantically reaches for air. Anton deduces he cannot swim. We're gonna swim to the boy. We dive into the water, we grab Julianio, and furiously swim back to the boat. He expects the Christians will try something stupid. To his surprise, Abasolo and Patricio help both of them on board. As Anton fears the worst, the demon has disappeared. The sea calms down again. The group sails away from that island full of sacrifices. Anton and the surviving Christians reach the beach. Anton collapses, thankful for land. Julianio still tries to recover his breath, not once taking his eyes off where that thing used to be. Padre nuestro que... Sorry, I said que again. Que estáis en el cielo. So, basically Spanish. Could this be hell? What was that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a demon. Like, I'm not going to play around. It was a demon. On the other hand, we're not safe. Night will fall and this is no safe place to camp. We need to continue moving. Recuperate by that shade, sailors, and I will look for survivors. The survivors return from the island to the makeshift refuge near the swamp. Where will Anton search next? The pointy huts. Anton heads to the rectangled figures by the beach. When they were closer, they indeed look like huts. He only hopes the residents are as kind as the Tainos were to him years ago. To his surprise, he hears some words in the distance. That's Spanish. That's a lot of Spanish. Papa. Once again, I believe this may be of Hispanic descent. No, it's the the stupid kind of survivors. Those words don't bring any calm to Anton. He runs towards the houses. Anton is close to the 3 huts by the beach. Cries and lashes to flesh resounding chillingly in the air. He can distinguish 2 explorers with a sword and whip killing natives. Lads. Go on... Only a small girl remains alive on the ground. Jesus Christ. Anton wants to yell at them, but his throat is completely dry and aching. However, from the other corner in the town, a figure in white approaches the closest sailor. Detén esta locura ahora. Stop, I say. An authoritative, thick, Sevillan voice booms through the entire town and beach. The 2 sailors stop and turn back. A tall, slender, but firm man who looks like a... He looks like he's about to tear off that robe to reveal he's, like, ultra ripped. And then he'd, like, just pull apart the 2 sailors with his bare hands. A tall, slender, but firm man in his 50s paces steadily towards the explorers, his eyes unflickering. He wears his uniform with the pristine white and black robes and the tonsure of the Dominican order. God Almighty built heaven, earth, and all its creatures. He gave us reason so we could bring respite for those suffering, to save those souls whose fathers forgot their true faith. Do not harm them. Bobcat, you know it. That's what I'm all about. That's basically my entire channel's basis. As he says this, he raises a pearly rosary with Christ in his strong, calloused hand. He's come face to face with the explorers. One of the aggressors lowers his sword, but the other barks, unflinching. Do not intervene, priest. We're in the middle of something here. These savages refused us even after we read the thing and demanded their lawful submission. This brat spilled the entire water jar when we took it. So let's kill their entire family. The young sailor raises the whip in the direction of the native, ready to strike again as the girl in the fetal position screams. Jesus Christ. The priest pulls the sailor powerfully from the shoulder and with his other hand grasps the whip's handle, to the surprised look of the conquistador. The Dominican adjusts the whip's knot in his hand expertly, then attacks him, extending his arm fully, the weapon making a horrible curve in the air. No, Padre, wait. The sailor raises his arms to his face and closes his eyes. A loud, terrible noise cracks as the leather hits the ground, less than a step away from the sailor. The Dominican smiles sternly, satisfied. Take weapons away from a conquistador, and what is he? A spineless brat in need of the rod. This poor girl is just losing her mind, and this guy's spitting bars. A petrified sailor with his hands raised slowly reopens his eyes to the look of the Dominican, his crewmate Anton, and the native child. He's ashamed, and disengages. The Dominican throws the whip at the sailor's feet, then he returns to the child and kneels in the sand and dirt next to her. Are you hurt? God, that's a lot of blood back there. The girl looks at him, calmer but silent. The priest smiles, then patiently points to himself and says, I'm Bernabe de las Casas. Then he moves his hand, pointing to the girl's face. ¿Y tú? The child hesitates, but after a few seconds she whispers, Atzin. As she tries to raise from the dirt, the priest gives her his arm. The girl takes it, dirtying his pristine black and white robes with brown sand and dirt. He smiles faintly at the kind stranger. Thanks for the gold! The Dominican makes no notice, and cleans the child's face from the remaining dirt using his clothes. She smiles more widely. Then the priest turns to the group, noticing Anton. Anton, hijo mío! Father de las Casas! Both men embrace each other. Bernabe supports Anton's head on his chest, as he would be his own son, kissing him on the forehead. This is taking a turn. Anton, without thinking, almost falls on the priest's arms. You are exhausted, son. Rest for a moment. Just for a moment. We must depart quickly. Still got my hat with my feather in it, though. I'm pretty happy about that. A wise decision, my son. I know you're worried about the crew, but we must save our strength if we are to find them in this strange land. Ireland. They take refuge by one of the hut's shade. Anton catches his breath. I saw what you did, father. I feared the worst when I listened to the requierimiento and the screams. Never fear, my son. As we talked in La Havana, it is only the unjust in this world who should show fear. These idiot conquistadores, they will subdue everything in their path lawfully. What will they be conquerors of? The kingdom of dust and ashes. It has already begun, Anton. What do you mean, father? I'm sorry to tell you, but you have to know. More than half of the Tainos are dead. I know you were close to them. La Española will be hardly sustainable. Governor Velasquez may deny it, but I know Cuba must be the same. They are overworking the Indians to death. They even dare to start importing African slaves to offset their losses. It's an evil cycle of profit and death. Anton fears for the Tainos. He cannot believe so many could disappear so soon. Father, are you sure? Velasquez and Vuestra Sacra Maestad have extended their protection to the Indians. They are Christians now. I saw it with my own eyes in La Española, son. I wrote to Vuestra Majestad, but that damn Velasquez intercepted my letters. I volunteered to Enrique's company to put an end to it. We will establish a new town, without abuses, to be an example for others, where profit and stupidity will not have priority over Christian lives. They're putting a big emphasis on the whole Christian aspect, when it should just be, you know, everyone. Father Bernabe's resolve always inspired Anton, but there was more urgent matters. We must find the crew and our captain, father. Anton rises from the shade. Anton calls the two surviving explorers, forming a small group with Father Bernabe. Marinos venid. We must stick together, find water and shelter before night falls. I saw where fellow crewmates may be holding. We'll find them and take refuge at a bigger community not far from here. Let's hope they're friendly. I'll walk a few meters in front of you. In case of danger, I'll yell. No sense risking all of us. I'm not sure what that was yet, Climmer. I just know we have a important thing in a little bag. In fact, we might have lost it in the ocean. That's entirely likely. Although we did keep the hat. So anything's possible. Cool. Anton has already explored all the important landmarks. Time is of the essence, and if the group is to survive, we must keep moving and find resources. The explorers walk through the beach. After a while, they see a dot held to some debris in the water, moving towards them. Anton extends his arms and yells until it finally reaches them. It's Bernal. What's he doing? Romano. Anton excitedly hugs and kisses him on the cheek. All the men cheer him. Wahey, etc. I thought you were lost. It's a miracle. Ha! A miracle of swordplay. I killed the demon and all three who next appeared. They were no match for the great Bernal Diaz de Castillo. I don't trust this man one bit anymore. Because we saw that big thing. It wasn't dead. In fact, it was still, you know, living its best owl life. Then I thought you men would be doomed with Anton's boring stories, so I swam across the ocean to spare you a slow and very painful death. If swimming means holding you to life in a log and praying to your mother, haha, got him. Anton notices Bernal trying to force a supposedly serious face, his left cheek betraying him the same as when playing cards. Yeah, I think he got skinwalkered. I think this man is some kind of meat puppet. Well, aren't we all meat puppets of the church? No, we're not, because we're living in the 21st century. Anton pats him on the back and they all laugh. Then he notices the sun is going lower, but the heat does not yield. Heh, settle down, you wet dogs. Don't call me that. Let's regroup and we'll head to a bigger community not far from here. They have to have some water. The remaining survivors gather their bearings and head into the mainland. Anton watches the group of survivors that now includes De las Casas, the Indian girl, Bernal, Pedro, Julianillo, and the rest. They're all having a great time, these lads. Yeah, they're just kind of chilling. Pilot addresses the crew, but his dry throat betrays him. Men, I know we're thirsty, scared, too few of us in a strange land, but I ask you, have Christians faced odds like this before? Here, take proof of this picture. Oh, never mind. Anton makes a pause, wondering if he will see his boatswain again, but he perseveres. He triumphantly raises his shield and continues his speech. Long ago, before our empire was reunited, the good King Alfonso of Asturias died of old age. Long and pious had been his reign, being rewarded with the discovery of Apostle Santiago's tomb in Compostela. Abderrahman, the Emir of Cordoba, seized the opportunity and ordered his usual tribute upon the young King Ramiro. 100 virgins, 50 nobles, and 50 commoners by dawn. King Ramiro responded by calling his Asturian knights. By daybreak, the two armies met in Clavillo, but the Christians were outnumbered by the Moors. They did not falter, and would die to stop the abuses. As few knights remained, Abderrahman found Ramiro in the battlefield. He prepared his final blow with a curved blade. When a warrior on a white horse appeared, holding the silver banner of Asturias, he defended the young king. The king recognized him. It was Santiago, apostle of Jesu Christu. Jesu Christu sounds more Japanese. Jesu Cristo sounds Spanish. Also, this guy is unnecessarily handsome. He had descended from heaven to aid the Christians. Seeing him, the remaining Asturian knights yelled, Dios ayuda a Santiago. Together, they killed over 5,000 Moors and Abderrahman. That morning, Santiago, Matamoros, and Christians held true. Today, men, I promise you this. We will uphold Christianity, make riches, defend our crew, and also, we will each have a white horse. As Anton finishes, he raises his rodela victoriously to the air, and Bernal and a few of the Alfanies hold him proudly in the air, the signs of thirst and hunger disappearing. You don't need water when you've got stories. Isn't that what Game of Thrones taught us? A few of the crewmen let tears flow on their cheeks. Por Santiago. Viva Cristo Jesus. Santiago Matamoros. Anton is proud of the loyalty of his men. They embark on a long march to the clearing beyond the beach. Later, as survivors walk to the southeast, the Dominican de las Casas gets closer to Anton, making sure nobody else can listen to them. You know what? The Battle of Clavillo did not actually happen. Fake news. It was for a BuzzFeed article. They were trying to come up with the best battles of all time, but then they realized most of them are just kind of sad. So they made up this one about an angel killing a bunch of infidels. But in a few hundred years, you'll look back and realize, oh, that's actually pretty brutal, and there's nothing really that great about it. Shocked, Anton turns to his mentor. You don't have to say anything. I've studied the dates. They don't make sense. But these legends have a purpose. Santiago, Matamoros, the Moor killer. Without him, how far would the Reconquista and the Indies go? This guy's having an absolute ball back here. He's loving it. Anton looks at his explorers, no longer anxious, or as bone dry as before. Fray Bernabe continues. But don't let anyone fool you, my pupil. Jesus preached love. It is the unjust who twist his message for their purposes. The Indian girl saved while the priest stays by his side. Anton listens to the Dominican intently, looks to his now spirited crewman, I read that as caveman initially, and nods in deep thought. This new Eden grants us an opportunity, Anton. A Christianity without lies. You'll see, we'll stop at nothing to build a better home for Etzin. Verdad? The girl nods and replies to him. De las Casas listens intently to her words and tries to repeat them. Anton feels energized and leaves them to their dialogue in strange words. The Franciscan Pedro approaches Anton. My boy, I see men on the edge. No surprise with the horrors we've seen. I would like to confess them. Can we walk as I listen to them? That may relax them a bit. He's from the south now. Yeah, go for it. I can't get over how ripped this guy is. Julianillo is just like... whoa. Of course, and don't push yourself too hard, Anton. Anything you need, I'm here for you. Do you need any Christian stuff? Also, my feather looks more proud than usual. I enjoy that greatly. Pedro approaches the rest of the sailors. Anton barely hears his voice in the background. Tell me your sins, hero. That's... Is now the time? Some minutes later, an altercation starts. You sacrilegious idiot. Anton turns back. He finds De las Casas and Pedro at each other's throats. It's for her own good. The little Indian girl quickly looks at both priests, worried. How can you pretend to confess her? She's not even Christian. The rest of his crew surround the priests, not daring to intervene. Then we can baptize her now. Pedro extends his arms, stating the obvious. He takes out the simple wooden cross of his brown Franciscan robes. De las Casas takes out his pearly rosary, his red face now contrasting with his black and white Dominican uniform. With what water will you baptize her, you idiot? She won't understand what it means. She doesn't speak Castilian, Latin, Russian, English, Spanish, or Portuguese. It doesn't matter. Her soul will be saved. Then she can learn what it means. You Franciscans, because of you, Christianity is nothing but a bunch of zealots who pray and don't even understand the words, who pay their tenth without asking what corruption it supports. That's quite relevant. Our Lord Jesus studied years before preaching. He would impose a faith on those who cannot defend themselves. You're no better than a Moor. Yikes. Anton Anton sees Pedro for the first time altered, but still composed. Hate, doctrine. Dominicans would drown us all in righteousness and spite. What difference does it make for those who suffer if a rule is perfectly followed, when hunger claws at them, when death is at their doorstep? Jesus preached in Aramaic, you fool. When was the last time you did so? Thursday. Love for one another, sacrament, salvation, these were his lessons. No wonder Dominicans swell the Inquisition, torturing anyone who doesn't conform to your standards. Enough, says Anton, having taken off his shirt. Oh no, he's still got it on. He's just so angry his muscles are bulging out. Aside with De las Casas, he's way cooler than Pedro. Pedro, father, please stop. But my boy, she's alone in this world. She needs our kindness too. She's not asked for our kindness, father. Pedro is caught mid-word, his mouth still open. He looks back at the Dominican, who wears a satisfied smug. You know, the way the text box cuts off the art in the background, it looks like the priest is just holding this little girl's head, completely detached. It's quite morbid. He looks back at the Dominican, who wears a satisfied smug. Sighing, the Franciscan stands down. What will happen to our company, to mankind, if we submit to bullies? Anton wants to confront Pedro, but suddenly another sailor gets in his way. We don't have time for this, you fools. We have to keep moving. Moments pass. The men walk slowly across the swamp. The sun lowers, but the heat does not yield. The men are tired, some of them carried by their mates' shoulders. They even stop talking. More than one of the explorers had tried to drink from the rivers, but Anton has stopped them every time. It's fresh water. Anton is just very cruel. The group continues, and knows you tried your best to compromise. The sun is lower. Dusk will be here soon. Swamps surround them completely, but the trees are not as thick as before. It must end soon. From what I recall, the clearing should not be far ahead. A loud splash in the swamp water, then some heavy dragging breaks the conversation. Nobody move. Anton turns to the group, counting them. He whispers, barely for everyone to hear. Crocodiles. That's what I like about this setting. You know, the threat could be a giant owl man, or it could be a crocodile. You know, that's a pretty nice duality. Let's see you, Bobcat. Thanks for coming along. Anton goes back a few steps for everyone to hear. Listen, we have to be careful. The bastards are strong and fast. They hide in the water, but sometimes they just lie on the ground. Don't make noise. Be sharp with your surroundings. Don't befriend them. They nod. The crocodiles nod. Anton takes the lead. The group crosses. Anton points to the crew, the eyes protruding from the water. They circle those ponds. Occasionally, they meet huge crocodiles, over 3 persons long. Big persons or small persons? Massive and heavy, just standing on the ground. They hiss and look at them, but Anton uses his sharp sight to detect them early and avoid them. We should be good. The swamp is giving into hard stones and crags. In no time we'll be out of these damn trees. The sailors look at each other, exhilarated. A root breaks. Adelson, the little girl at De las Casas side, gets scared, and runs. Hija, come here. Then, a whistling sound crosses quickly through the air to them. It lands on a tree, just a nail away from Fray Pedro. Arrows. Run. The crocodiles have bows. More of them fall, but few precise. Crocodiles don't have thumbs. They just come out of everywhere. One of the explorers unsheaths his sword. Come at me, you devil. My name is Baltazar, and that's really cool. He's immediately pierced through the neck. As soon as I find someone with a cool name, they get goddamn throat pierced. The projectiles increase. Quickly, says Bernal. Bernal pushes the monks and the few survivors. Julianio carries 2 wounded explorers on his back. We love Julianio. If anything happens to him, I will... I won't even describe what I'll do. The Christians have to jump through the green ponds. Huge jaws emerge, grabbing explorers. The arrows hit others. The projectiles fall plenty from the north, south, west, below, above, inside. The survivors run to their only remaining path. Crocodiles being alerted of the commotion and coming out of their hidings. In front of Anton, Bernal, De las Casas, Pedro, and Julianio go together. They have to cross a passage of heavy rocks forming walls at their sides. They grant some protection from the arrows, and they cross successfully. A huge pond lies at the exit of these rocks. I think your character is, Avatar. I think you're good. Well, we don't actually know. A few people fell to crocodiles. That could have been you. On the waters are waves. Movement. 5 crocodiles emerge from the borders, less than 6 steps away from the group. They have seen the explorers and are closing in. Christ, these things are big. We have to cross, says Anton. Patricio, Abasolo, and Baltazar try to cross the passage to catch the pilot major, unaware of their fatal wounds. One by one, they collapse. So Avatar, I've got an update for you. The crocodiles are in front of us. We can't cross. We can't go back either. The arrows whistle closer to them. Anton knows with dread that he has to make a decision, and by that he means Painticus has to make a decision. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not pushing Julianio even though he's probably the most qualified. Oh no, because he can't swim. Bernal, you go first. Arrows start falling around them and into the pond. I'm sorry, my friend. I didn't realize I was making a sacrifice. Okay, so I thought we had to, like, cross the pond. It turns out... It turns out we were sacrificing somebody. And I sacrificed the person I thought was most qualified to not die. Okay, so if I'm ever on a ship, don't make me the navigator. Because then this will happen. As the survivors run, they finally reach a clearing. Neither the arrows nor the crocodiles cross. The whistling of the arrows, the heavy dragging of the reptiles, they all stop. Only the frenetic panting of the Christians can be heard in the night. A full moon illuminates them all. The priests and Julianio stop, terrified. Anton keeps walking, decisive, with deep sobbing. Anton, why didn't I push Fray Pedro? I don't like Fray Pedro. Anton, child, stop. Stop. We have to keep moving. It's not safe. De las Casas approaches Pedro. Let me... just a moment. De las Casas catches the pilot. Pedro motions Julianio. Both of them remain a little behind. My son, stop at once. Anton ignores the Dominican's command, but De las Casas embraces him strongly, stopping him. Let me go, he says, sobbing. My son, you lost your companion. You fed him to a crocodile, very willingly. Your friend is dead. I'm sorry. I never wanted this for you, but it is the just ones who pay. Anton starts crying in his arms, still struggling to let go of his mentor. That is the nature of the world. It's cruel, it's corrupt. But people like you give us hope, Anton. For the sake of your friend and yourself, understand? There was no other way. Anton stops pushing and looks at his mentor, calmer. Thank you, father. Julianio approaches them, followed by Pedro. The young man holds the same mournful, sad expression in his face as Anton. He starts praying in unknown but comforting words. The pilot listens attentively, not fully understanding, but feeling moved and grateful at Yulia Neo's sentiment. Stop it. Stop it. De las Casas stops at Yulia Neo, his face full of fury. You don't get... Okay, I like this guy until now. You don't get to talk, you don't get to do anything. How could you let this happen? How could you let a Christian die? I pushed him in the pond. I didn't sacrifice him, I just straight up killed him. Oh god, okay, I'm not on this guy's side anymore. Oh god, this is difficult. Ooh. Pedro puts his arm between Yulia Neo and the Dominican. Are you crazy? He's trying to comfort Anton. There was nothing the youth could do. Don't ask intelligence out of those without... What is wrong with both of you? Don't ask intelligence out of those without soul? I hate both of these men. Yulia Neo is taken back. He falls silent. He has long learned to do with his Christian masters. Jesus Christ. Damn it all. Both of you, shut up. Thank you, Anton. Finally, somebody who's not the worst. Nick levels up his rating with a party of 21. I apologize. If you guys had arrived like 3 minutes earlier, you would have seen just the worst thing transpire. I ended up killing a guy. I didn't mean to kill him. It just kind of happened. It was a whole ordeal. And now I've got these two racists yelling at each other. It's a big problem. Hello Benji, hello War Whisper. Nick levels up. Isbarahan, Lady Dragonia, Aini Knee 20, and so on. People die. People do die, but the thing was, I didn't mean to kill them. It just kind of happened. And by that I mean I didn't read close enough. So, you know, in reality, I killed an innocent man because I'm very stupid. It's okay, people kill people all the time. Anton gets back on his feet, his voice almost normal. The priests are surprised by his reaction. The young man fought with Bernal, with me, against demons. He served as well as any Christian, and he is worthy of respect. This was not God's plan. It was the stupid cycle of death, conversion, religion, sacrifice of good men. So don't call him an idiot, and don't say he doesn't have a soul. Yulia Neo and Bernal were more useful than any of you preachers. Jesus Christ. Okay, Anton. Anton's speaking from the soul. The two priests are speechless. They'd never heard talked like that. Is it a priestly thing to be bald? Yeah, to be bald? Oh no, Yulia Neo is okay. Yulia Neo is okay. I killed the Bernal. Bernal got killed because I thought he wouldn't die. What happened here? It was I who made the decision. In any case, we're not safe yet. We have to find water and refuge for the night. Let's head into this place. Congratulations, you've reached the end of the Dream of Darkness narrative prototype. Thank you for playing. To be continued. Okay, what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna take like 10 minutes, I'm going to absolutely bolt through the game again, and I'm gonna see what happens if I choose someone else. Yeah, this one. Okay, let's see. Oh, I have to go through the puzzles again? That's fine. I think I remember them. Crow's Nest. Okay, we're gonna do Tails. We're gonna do Tails. We're gonna do Tails. We're gonna push him off the edge. Speedrun. I'm holding the first record, the stove. We're gonna tell the man that there's 5 rats. I think there was 5 rats. I think. Yes. There's 5 rats. Easy. Lower deck. Let's talk to the palm man. Yeah, Read my palm. Go for it, mate. Quarterdeck. Okay, now time for 2 puzzles in a row. Yes. We go left. We go left again. We go left again. We go left again. The light's at its strongest. Yes. It's... Oh, it's different! Is it? No, it's not. Is it? Is it different? Oh god, I should have listened. Okay. Whew. I should have read that. Well, it's this one. Something seems a little off to you. It's because you don't have soul, my friend. Navigation room. Yep. Let's go. I did 3 and 7 last time. Yes. Ooh, let's go. We're gonna save Bernal. Yeah, go for it. These guys are having classic boat banter. Give it to Carlos. That's what I did last time. I got the shield. The shield's good. Oh, you don't have to click the numbers? Oh, that probably means you got it right. I don't think I did. I don't know if any of you have ever had, like, a really, really terrible PC, and you've not been able to run, like, relatively high-end games, but if you just look at the pictures while I'm scrolling through the game really quickly, it looks like when I first played Dark Souls, and I played it at, like, 5 frames per second. That was pretty good. Fray Pedro, where are you? That guy got absolutely gubbined. Christian ship. It's these cool boys again. And by cool boys, I mean one of them I can't stand. Yep. Yeah, Dark Souls at 5 frames per second is like the only way to play it. Anything else is just, you know, it's a bit soft. Oh, I said sir, I did not mean to say that. This guy deserves a good slap. Well, to be fair, he does get a good slap. Benji, did I just say that you needed to get a good slap? If so, I apologize, but at the same time, I don't know. Did you get to choose to be like the evil character? Get away from it, Diana. Oh, actually, I wanted to get a good picture of Big Owl Boy again. Owl Boy is my favorite. Oh wait, I just realized I killed Bernal and I didn't trust Bernal. Maybe I made the good choice. Oh, that's fair, Benji. Swim to him. Pointy huts. Let's go through the sad section again. I hate it when you find like a cool character and then a few minutes later it turns out, oh, he's actually a massive racist. And then you're met with this horrible, you know, dilemma where you're like, you know, it was back in a time when everyone was a bit racist, but it doesn't make it okay. I just want to slap them. I'm saying the word slap a lot today. Maybe that's how you deal with racists. Amen, brother. I didn't choose Amen last time, so I might get an entirely different scenario. And by that I mean that's not entirely likely. Here he is. He's almost definitely a skinwalker. I'm glad I killed him. I kind of want to ask Javier how many words this is. Because I didn't realize quite how long the game was until I started speedrunning through it. Alright, but be quick about it. They're fighting again. Oh god. Let's side with Pedro. There's at least 20 words. Yeah. Actually, isn't at least 15. Like that's safe. I like the frame coming up where you see everyone die. That's pretty good. This guy just looks unimpressed. This guy's very angry that he got shot through the throat. And this guy looks like a Vogue model, but with a bunch of arrows in his chest. Okay. If I do everyone crosses the pond at the same time. Or if I say I'll cross first. Okay, we're putting up to democracy. Chat. Type 1 for I'll cross first. Type 2 for everyone will cross. If I see a 3, I will be furious. There's a 1. There's a... I didn't say anything about 5s. I didn't say anything about 4s either. I've been outsmarted. Okay, so we've... Oh, it looks like 3 votes for 1. 4 votes for 1. 2 votes for 4. Okay, it looks like I'm crossing. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, Benji. So I was like, oh, I'll push this very capable man. I'll cross first. I'll distract the beasts. You cross. That's one hell of a image. Oh my god. Anton just goddamn died. You can tell he's dying because it's the only frame I've seen so far where he's not wearing his hat. It's fallen off. No, this is not how it's supposed to be. Oh, you can do it again. Oh, that's cool. Okay, everyone will cross. They all jump one by one. They're caught by crocodiles. No, this is not how it's supposed to be. Okay, right. Let's push Fray Pedro. I would push De las Casas in. I'd push both of them if I could. But De las Casas has the little girl who kind of trusts him, and I don't want to ruin that. So Fray. Oh, he looks so worried. Pedro, my friend. Oh God, forgive me. Don't forgive me. I'm more than happy for this. Oh, blood. Twitch chat's broken. Uh-oh. Well, hello anyway. Oh, the girl did run away. She'd never know. I feel like this is 2020. This face is just like the entire year. Anton, what do you mean, son? Explain it to me. We have so much time. Anton pushes him, closing his eyes. The weight of the horrified Franciscan makes him sink immediately. The bulky priest tries to float to the surface. He's underwater, so... Pedro stumbles on the shore. A crocodile grabs his brown robes swiftly. He disappears as more of the creatures surround him. The rest of the group are fine. Oh wow, Anton's really beat up about this one. Is everybody alright? De las Casas and Julianillo barely nod. Anton has his eyes wide, horrified at what he just did. He cannot breathe, thinking about his loyal friend's desperate words. He gasps for air. Oh, wow, this looks dramatic. Okay, De las Casas notices his disciple's shock and gets close to him, placing his calloused hand on his shoulder, not unkindly. Anton, listen to me, son. It had to be done. Anton looks at him, disgusted, striking the Dominican's arm, not wanting to be touched. Don't touch me. Just don't, father. He was my friend, a good, just man. You weren't nearly this annoyed when Bernal died. You were just like, oh, it happened. Oh, you both put Pedro in? Ooh. You're brave. Were it not for you, we would all be dead. I would know, I've seen it twice. In heaven, he understands. But he's not in heaven. He is instead in several crocodiles. Anton, it's what we do, partner. We survive. Bernal gives a hardened look at his friend, trying to contain a grim expression in his mouth, nailing to the ground his rusty alfanye as support to keep him standing. Yulia Neo gets a step closer to Anton. His deep black eyes are shaken, shad, and frustrated, as they lack tears, just as the pilot. Wait. They are shaken, sad, and frustrated as they lack tears. Okay, cool. Yeah. He extends his muscular arms to hug him. He is enormous, so anyone would accept that hug. Otatiali ma matolikamita. Anton feels strangely comforted by his melodic, unknown words. Oh my god, I'm going to slap this man. Once again, slappings come up. Dallas Casas' composed nature quickly changes into judgment. Anton is perplexed. You have no right to touch him, slave. Dallas Casas, you are so close to being paced. Why didn't you fight? Why didn't you jump in the waters first? It should have been you. No Christian deserves that death. Yulia Neo takes a step back from Anton and the rest, scared at the unknown words of the violent Sevillan accusation. That's enough, Fray Bernabe. Leave Yulia Neo be. How dare you talk that way to me, son? I'm the only one that stands between you and an audience. Have you thought about what the church will do if they find you chose a slave over one of their Franciscans? Columbus was disgraced for far less. Columbus did far more. Don't talk that way about the Admiral. And look, we have far more to worry about than an audience. We're not safe yet. We have to find water, refuge for the night. Let's head into this place. Congratulations, you've reached the end again. You died twice on the way, but hey, that's fine. To be continued. So, fun fact. Anyone can, add to the game and have their face put in. This was my face. I have lost some weight recently, so I might look a bit different. But, that's just how things are. Anyway, I've just remembered I have 3 keys to this game to give away. Does anybody want some keys? Okay, here's how I'll decide who to give them to. No, it's not actually my face, but if you removed all the skin and muscle, it might be. Javier knows more about my anatomy than myself. Okay. Here's the thing. The person who can come up with the best Spain-based pun gets a key. See, I'm opening my browser because that's where I have the keys. Okay, Claymore with a solid entry. Let me Spain this to you. Have we got any more? Has Spain more like racist conquistador jerk faces? Existence is Spain? I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot. Oh, it's very, very tough to choose between Spain in the ass and Existence Spain. Then again, I've got 3 keys, so I can give them away. Have we got any more contestants? Have we got any more contestants? Because as it stands right now, I'm in the awkward position where there are 4 entries and 3 keys. Let's just call this round 1. And round 1, I decide the winner is Blood Machine. Blood, I'll message you on Discord. I'll send you the thing. There you go. You did it. Okay, now, round 2. Whoever can type... Whoever can most accurately explain my ability to pronounce Spanish words gets the next key. And please, take your time with this one. I know it's not easy. Decent, I suppose. I'm gonna pronounce all the U's. Let me get some quiz music up here. I'm just gonna look up quiz music. Okay. Oh, 80s music quiz. Oh no, that's a different thing. Okay. Let me just get the countdown theme. Let's see if there's a royalty-free option. Oh, this is ominous. It's more foreboding than I had in mind. I was expecting like sort of wacky fun. The word Hio just sounded like a different language. That's fair. Okay. This one. This one. I'm going to go for Claymore on this one, simply because it was, you know, she came up with a direct quote. So, Claymore, here you go. Here is the second key. I'm setting it on Discord once again. Okay, now the third one. The third one. Okay, I am going to hold an object in my hand and shake it to make a noise. Whoever can accurately guess, or at least get close to what the thing is, wins the third key. What am I holding? You can't quite see how wildly I'm flailing, but just imagine that's what's happening. Maracas would be thematic. Actually, what am I shaking? Oh, that's okay. Untrusted, you get the points, not because you were right, but because you were very, very close. It was, in fact, prescription medication, which I think ibuprofen is close enough to. Here you go. And there it is. What's this? Oh, yeah, I just saw this on OBS. I kind of forgot this guy was lying here. Let me just stick him away again. Have I got any other freaky things lying around that I don't know about? Let me double check. There's this guy. Any interest in... Oh wait, hang on. Sorry, just before I answer that, I want to make sure this guy's eyes are the same size as the skeleton's eyes. There we go. Any interest in streaming some of the games from the 2-minute horror jam? I didn't actually know there was a 2-minute horror jam. Let me look into that. As much as I love Itch.io, the actual search mechanic isn't great. So let's look up 2-minute horror jam and see what comes up. Oh, wait, hold up. No, that's 10 minutes. Oh, you sent it to me on Discord? Excellent. Oh, thank you. By the way, if any of those keys didn't work, just let me know, and I'll sort that out. My goodness, there's a few of these games. Yeah, you know what? Let's do some of it right now. Oh, this one's called Memoria de la Muerte. That is thematic. We're gonna play it. 56 megabytes. Easy stuff. Oh, I heard good things about Stonehouse Orphanage. Let's get that one. Oh, I thought for a minute it was going to be a browser game. That would have been hilarious. Oh, I forgot to, forgot to get rid of this old fella. Yes, Untrusted, I saw that. I think the version I've gotten here is just the publicly available one. Oh, Modus Interactive made one. That's cool. I like the look of Subterror. I'll play maybe 10 of these. Oh, yep, there's Modus. I thought that was Bonzi Buddy for a second. I wish it was Bonzi Buddy. Because Bonzi Buddy is true horror. The Order Containment Failure, that looks like it's an SCP type deal. I like SCP. I'm also a fan of SCP knockoff games, but there's no working download link, which is a shame. This one's called Game Over... It's by a company, or a developer called Game Over Mexico. That's fitting. Except, there's no download link. Bon Voyage. Oh, let's find Bon Voyage. Can we do Control F on this? No. Have I told you guys about the sleep paralysis I had a while ago? Like, for the first time in my life, I had sleep paralysis, and it was really weird. Bon Voyage, there it is. Sleep paralysis is bad. I mentioned that on Twitter, yeah. Like, it's the weirdest thing, because it was like... You know how when you wake up from a dream, you have that feeling which was like, oh yeah, of course, that was a dream. I didn't have that with sleep paralysis. I was like, wait, did that? Were the things that I was hearing and seeing, were those actually there? Were they not? Who knows? Kind of freaked me out for a few days. Oh, a really short terror game. I love terror games. Except there's no downloads. My phone just went buzz buzz. Apologies if you could hear that. Do you know what I was actually considering doing? They just released all of the Five Nights at Freddy's games on Nintendo Switch. Which, at first I was like, one, how are they not on there already? Two, why? And three, did it really need to be ported there? But I'm actually thinking now, with a controller, especially with one like the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, I think the game could work better than with mouse and keyboard. And I don't know, there's a certain level of like arcadiness that comes with a console release that I think would fit the FNAF games a bit better. Like again, I know there's a lot of animosity towards the FNAF series in general, but I'm actually totally fine with it. Like, I get the cheap jump scare thing, but at the same time, unlike many other games, it actually gives you a chance to avoid them. Like, you can go through all of those games without being scared, apart from 3. I don't think you can avoid it in 3. And anything post 4, I just don't know. CBT Panic Emulator. The internet has ruined what I know to be CBT. Because before I thought it was cognitive behavioral therapy. Now it's something totally different. Right, I think I've got enough games here. I don't quite have 10. I've got, what, 7 there. But let's just see. Yeah, that's true, Glimmer. That's very true. Let's do Memoria de la Muerte. Cognitive behavioral torture. Ooh, that's loud. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just turned it down for you guys. It is... Whew. Actually, what I'm going to do is really quickly restart this. So don't go anywhere. I'll be back in just a second.